Hello everyone. Welcome back to the Rant and Bollox podcast, episode 14.
Oh, you remember the actual number this time.
I know, we're actually keeping track of this stuff now.
So. Nah, forget it. We're done. This is the last episode. That's why we're keeping track.
There'll be a place where we're like putting these and we can keep track of them.
There should be some sort of database storage house that we can keep them.
It's episode 14, man. And that's a magical number.
Why?
I'm not sure why.
You don't know.
My lucky number is 7.
Well, the last one was 13, and we were both sick as dogs. Yeah. So maybe unlucky 13. So maybe this time we'll be all better.
Well, I just wanted to go straight into lucky numbers because my lucky number is 7. Have you got a lucky number? And has it actually been lucky for you?
No, it hasn't. But the number is 23.
Is it 23?
Yeah.
Why is it 23?
23 is the jersey of my favorite players.
Okay.
And it's also my house number.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There was something
because some people have been asking like who you support.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Well, they can go find out by themselves. And you don't support anybody.
Not really.
You're
not even you.
Not even. Not even when I fall down, you don't even support me. Pick me up, Alex.
I'm just like dead center, like fuck you. And then anyone.
You're like those guys in Futurama from the neutral planet.
Yeah.
Tell my wife, hello.
I strive for that. So, no, just episode 14. It's awesome.
Yeah, we're getting there.
And then you just released.
I don't know where there is, but we're getting there.
You just released your Mad Max.
Yeah, the big ass Mad Max video.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely, I'm gonna make sure nobody's gonna watch them.
Oh,
it's
people are watching.
45 minutes long.
People are watching, man. So
people are idiots. You people are all idiots.
They're loving it.
Love it, but you're idiots. Don't watch it.
The favorite thing for me was just to see the purple icon digging deeper.
The new one instead of the greens. It's just all greens for like a
everyone
week.
else is just like that's green.
Yeah,
it's green. Another green. Oh, it's a purple.
But we're gonna have soon.
So we are gonna have real soon.
Oh wait, did I ruin it? Am I not supposed to say the color? All right, we'll start again. I'll cut that out.
No. Do it. Keep it in.
No.
Keep it in because it goes with a kind of a theme that
I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna blur. I'm gonna bleep it.
Okay.
It's gonna be a bleep, like a swear word.
That'll be fun. So he's bleeped it. Yeah. How's the week been anyway, man? Been good. Treated you well?
Been good. Got sunburnt. Got rained on.
Yeah.
It's been an up and down week of weather.
We've both been on decks, haven't we? Building decks.
Yeah. Been loving my dick.
Yeah.
I love my dick. You love your dick.
It's for all the Australian listeners out there.
Yeah, we sent each other some dick pics.
So, dick.
But you didn't do any work. I did.
No, I didn't. Yeah,
it's not even my dick.
Mine was all in my head. Like we're going to do this.
Yeah.
And something like, but it's going to rain tomorrow. And then the day that it was supposed to rain was just like possibly the hottest, most beautiful day ever. And we were like, oh damn.
Well, nothing we can do now.
Yeah, I felt like
about
texting you halfway, going like, "How's that dick doing?" Just on a patio here, but no, it's been good weather here, and then like I think we're over our lull of like you're not ill anymore. Like,
yeah,
you were
I don't
ill,
think so.
Seemed like
maybe.
for a year.
I don't know.
So yeah, that's awesome, man.
Or it's like that moment just before the chest buster.
Yes.
Where like you think everything's fine.
Well, last week you were kind of like leaning back with your arms.
I'm like, I'm in bits. I can't deal with it.
Yeah, but
now I feel fine. And everyone's like, oh yeah, great.
But really, it's coming out your back.
Oh yeah.
Which brings me on to, you did watch it yesterday.
I did see it, yeah.
I haven't seen it yet. But just
one of our classic review shows.
We're all over.
One of us have seen it and one of us hasn't.
All over the shop. But just top level, what was your initial thought? Don't go into spoilers, too much details or anything. No, just like...
I think we have another Prometheus on our hand.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So you fucking loved it.
I have a lot that I love about it, but I'm going to see a lot of people are going to complain about it.
Okay.
So I think, I want you to see it.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be an interesting conversation when you see it.
Yeah.
Because the bits in it, it was the same as Prometheus. The bits in it that I love, I love. And then the other bits, you're just kind of like, just get back to that other thing.
Oh, interesting. So next week we'll review that. So
and next week is Wonder Woman as well.
Wonder Woman.
It's a big super duper review week.
Yeah. And it sounds like she's doing all right.
Yeah. I'm still worried.
Yeah.
But I'm less worried.
About yourself or Wonder Woman? Or?
About myself, yeah.
Because I'm worried about
it. Got a lot of worries.
Yeah.
A lot of stresses. No, I think she's going to do good now.
Sure.
Like, enough people have seen it that there hasn't been this backlash of like, oh, she can't
not really
act.
A bar though, is there?
No, there's not a bar. Without going in, here's my prediction for it. It's going to be perfectly fine.
Sure.
It's going to be 10 years.
But was Suicide Squad perfectly fine?
No.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's going to be a great origin story in the sense of they did everything right. Everything's top notch. Everything's really cool, and the action will be great, and it'll make it a bit more jokey and charming and all this. But it's probably just going to be the same origin story we've seen.
Right.
So it's safe.
Yeah.
But you know, I want to go. I want to pay my money, give it to DC, and not walk out and think, "You fuckers robbed me."
Here's the thing. Maybe they need to build up again. Maybe they need to go safe. They need to go like level ground and be like, "Yeah, this is a great film." They didn't like push it, but they didn't mess it up either. Yeah. And they'll build from there. You know, because we've got to have faith in DC. Because I just bought Injustice 2.
That's 2.
So, you know, I've just given them $80.
The thing about it, I think, is that it is kind of the movie that everyone should have thought they were going to make back in the day.
Yeah.
Because I've heard there's comparisons to Captain America.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like this is how she started. And then
I can see that. I can see
which
that.
is kind of like, that's what Marvel did.
Yeah.
They made Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor.
Yeah.
But DC kind of shit the bed and did Suicide Squad and Batman, Superman
all over
first.
the shop. Yeah.
So yeah, I think it might be the little reboot they want. It's like, here's an origin story, and then in November they're gonna have.
I'm excited because you need competition, you need pressure. It's like with the gaming stuff I talk about with Xbox. I'm so like when E3 comes up in 2 weeks, I'm actually looking forward to Xbox's conference the most out of all of them because I know they're
the last conference.
They're the first actually.
Oh, they're the first.
They're on a Sunday, so I'm looking forward to that because they're going to.
And then whatever PlayStation do the.
And also Nintendo as well.
Yeah.
So there's some good Nintendo news in here. But going back to the competition in the movies, it's like Marvel, like you can argue that maybe they're kind of sitting back, just lounging, and DC need to like strike at them and be like, hey, like we've got a good film coming out here. We're building like a good story with all of other movies, and then Marvel will kind of go like, oh, so Thor 3 can't be like this. We've got to make it even better.
That's the thing. Like people are saying, oh, they should make DC movies like Marvel movies. Like I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
If DC went a different way completely,
no, they did. Yeah.
And
you
they
can't
did
just copy them.
Like Batman meets Seven.
Yeah.
Like this really dark serial killer's out in Gotham, and he has to fight him.
Sure.
And it's like a really compact, tight little story.
Yeah.
And that was amazing.
Yeah.
Then we'd be like, oh man, Marvel have got to do better.
And DC,
like these jokey little Ant-Man movies look like kiddies films.
Totally. They need to bring...
What DC releasing, the tone of it isn't matching a good movie.
Yeah.
So you're just thinking, all of it's bad. Don't do any of that.
And I think like it's the bitter taste of all their other films that kind of seeps through. So with Wonder Woman, hopefully they're starting again and it's like, this is great. And then the next one, what's the...
next one's Justice League.
Okay, so after that...
But Justice League, and then it's either... I don't know if Man of Steel 2 will be going out, or Batman will be going out.
Yeah.
But
hopefully they're building
Aquaman.
on something.
Aquaman's probably the next sure one.
I think that's going to be pretty awesome. They've got a great actor for that, and it sounds like that's going pretty well. Yeah. So, yeah.
It's going to be an interesting ride now to see. Like, if Wonder Woman does good, that should help things along.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to see, for example, Logan.
Yeah.
It's one of our favorite films.
Oh, yeah.
Not even superhero, just films.
Yeah.
Of like the last couple of years. But definitely superhero. So everyone saw Logan and now they're all like, oh man, we can make real dark adult movies. So now you go and see a film like Guardians and you're like, okay, that's great.
Yeah.
It's not Logan though.
Yeah.
Like there's no, like I think Guardians is a bad example. Guardians is the best example, the best in the Marvel universe.
Sure.
But like if Logan came out and then 3 weeks later or a month later Ant-Man came out, you'd be like,
no, it wouldn't work.
What are you doing? It wouldn't work. That's what you want, like you said, competition. You want DC to be ranking up with these like crazy good movies.
You just brought out like Marvel just did like a really smart thing with Logan being dark and gritty. Yeah. And then suddenly Guardians of the Galaxy being like super funny, hilarious, 2 different films, but still superhero films. So if you say to your friends, like, oh, I'm not really into like superhero films, but it's like, do you want to see like something like dark and like pretty awesome story and everything, or do you want to just see a comedy? It's like I've got something for everyone kind of thing, because people are just into comedies and dark stuff. Yeah, I know, but that's a smart thing. Yeah.
But generally, what we were talking about is we got a lot coming up. We got the games, got E3, got movies coming up. Busy summer coming along.
Yeah, it's the it's the industry that's keeping us talking, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, the whole world, really. But yeah, that's cool, man. Well, should we go straight into the good old tech?
Going into tech? Okay, we'll keep the rhythm
Might
going.
as well keep the rhythm.
Good, because I got no tech at all, so it's all on you.
All right. Well, we go straight into your brand new laptop, which might not even be an Apple laptop. But however, on June the 5th, Apple have like their usual yearly conference, and it's going to be streamed live and everything. But they're refreshing apparently every single MacBook. They're just like boom, 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 refreshing it all. So they're all going to get the new processors, new graphics cards, all that lot. So that's going to be kind of cool. And then there's going to be the new iOS system on the phone.
Have they talked about a new iMac?
They just said MacBook, so they just said the laptop range. Right. But I think everything from the Air to the MacBook really small guy to the MacBook Pro is all going to get updated. But it could be just as much. It could just be processor. It could be that little like touch bar could get more of an enhancement or something, or maybe they get thinner and lighter.
They might take out the plug socket altogether, so you get one charge and that's it.
They changed the bloody power thing again.
The dongle's gone again, yeah.
We don't have speakers on this one. You have to plug in. I wouldn't put them past them doing something like that. Yeah. But I just thought... I know that you've been looking at PC, but, maybe Apple...
No, Mac is still... It's starting to win me over because of the iMac.
Right.
For like editing purposes.
Yeah, it's got some power against it. But this is the funny thing. The other thing I've got here is Intel announced, I think yesterday, it could have been this morning, but I've lost my mind. They've just introduced a whole new range of processors. So they've got, I don't know if you know, in the processor kind of
it was like KB Lake, wasn't it?
There's KB Lake. This one, I think it's called Coffee something. But
God,
it's, have you heard the term i5 and i7? With processors? Yeah. So they got i5, i7. They've introduced this new one, i9. It's 18 cores.
What?
So like the ones that we use at work are
there's
like
dual core and quad core.
Yeah. This one's 18 core i9. It's like, fuck you, everybody else. This is the funny thing, They just announced them today, and they're saying, they're going to come out, bloody...
Wait, how can it be 18 cores? Doesn't have to be whatever the algorithm is. It has to be 2, 4, 8, 16.
They've broken it. They must have, whatever they can fit on the board, they probably changed the way the architecture works and stuff.
It's like, fuck all your systems. 18, bitches.
Yeah, 18's a good number.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, Apple, on June the 5th, they're going we're just updated.
We've updated everything.
We're going to Kirby Lake. And they're like, where's your 18 cores, boys? Now, that's what I'm wondering.
This has 4 cores.
I'm wondering if Apple have been talking to them, saying hey, we got our new processors coming out, or our new, MacBooks. Can we have your new processors for it and stuff? And then suddenly you've got, Kirby's in there. You got Kirby's.
Yeah,
and they're like,
Kirby's.
Oh, by the way, we've got an 18 core coming out next week.
Yeah.
And Apple are like, oh, well, we'll save that for next year.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing we were talking about last week with Apple getting hacked less than Microsoft would. Because 90% of computers are Microsoft.
Yeah.
So if you're Intel, you're like, I don't give a shit what you want, Apple.
Yeah.
We're just going to make a brand new processor every 6 months.
Yeah.
Fuck all y'all.
Apple are just they need to update their machines more. But this is a proper, if you were to buy that in a couple of months.
That's an insane leap, isn't it?
Yeah,
though?
you buy that.
I understand whatever it
Actually,
is.
that 18 core would only be available in a Mac Pro, or I don't even think an iMac would have it. But still,
it's still the top of the line kind of stuff.
You buy next week, not next week, but in a couple of months, say that you buy the MacBook. You're like, I'm doing all this video editing, and you spend $3-4 grand on it, and you're like, I've just spent all this money on this, and then suddenly you're like, oh, the Intel processors are dropping in another month.
Yeah.
And Apple didn't even do a deal with them to get it early, or just to wait. Why don't you just wait the month and get brand new processors?
Yeah.
Apple are always a little one step behind with that stuff, which is super annoying. So it was great to hear. That's why I wanted to start with new MacBooks. You know, we're all anxious for it. And then Intel today are like, oh, we got 18 core, thing coming out. It's your iMac that you just spent 7,000 Canadian dollars on is now obsolete.
It's gone.
It's old news.
Oh, yeah.
Already. So, whereas Dell, you can bet your ass in 2 months they'll be like, it's got the 18 core in it. You can have it. And then Apple are like, wait until 2018. It's like, I don't want to wait until 2018,
Well, maybe not 2018, maybe 2019. Yeah. Because we're going to work on the new iPhone. It's like, Dell have this now for 1/10 of the price.
Yeah. Or it could be Nintendo. Take it off the shelves.
Yeah.
Take it off the shelves. So, but interesting things happening. But we've talked about your laptop before, and the power of it.
Yeah.
And I think an iPhone 7 is more powerful than your laptop.
Yeah, I think that can of Coke is...
Yeah. So it's just like, it's just crazy. There are 18 cores.
I'm still interested in the 18 cores because I understand, or as far as I understand the computer systems, it's Moore's Law.
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
Which it doubles every 18 months.
Sure.
So how do you go from i7 4-core?
It's possible. I'm just throwing it out there. I have no idea, but it's possible that extra core does something on the side. So it's not like, it's not for computing. It's like maybe the extra core is just for like a separate task.
Right.
And then Intel are just like, oh, we've got to include the extra core, but it's really just for, I don't know, audio
18
or whatever
cores.
it is.
But even then, like, it'll make a difference.
Yeah.
It's going to have some sort of influence.
Yeah, they must have mentioned 18 for a reason. So.
Well, because it's a stupidly weird number.
It's fucking out there. So I'm glad that you brought it up as well. Like the 18, you know, more.
I just
more than you let on.
I understand the doubling because once you do the maths behind the doubling, you realize how terrifying computers are going to become. Because you go from what we used to play, which is like 16-bit, 32-bit, 64-bit, 128. Then you hit megabits. Then you hit gigs. Then you hit terabytes.
Yeah.
But you're getting your cores are going from like KB Lake and all that, which is hitting so many gigs, and then it will double.
Yeah,
which means it's now more powerful than KB plus the last two combined. You know, and you're just going to hit a point where the jump is just insane.
Well, it is more than double for sure. Like, actually, they've already said it's. I think it said 30% more or something, but that's more than just the one that came out like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, like every year, like. More than doubles for sure.
This is why Apple's going to get caught further and further behind.
Well, that's the thing. They need to be able to update their laptops quicker and more efficiently, because I guess their process with like an Apple laptop is super slick.
Yeah.
Whereas a Dell one is just like two pieces of plastic that you put together.
Yeah.
Like literally is that. Whereas an Apple laptop, like it takes a while to. As soon as you put a new processor in there, Apple are like. This is the cool thing about Apple. They'll be like, oh, we can make this thing thinner, or we can make the keyboard like light up now because this whole processor's thinner. Whereas Dell are just like, put it in the same chassis, whatever, and just get it out.
Lock it in, so, screw it up.
Because there's people out there where, like next week, if you're like, I can buy an i9, 18 core or whatever, where you'd probably go out and buy it.
Yeah,
like
even though the rest of your equipment hasn't like... built up to the level of being able to deal with it.
And there's people out there that will be like, I'm waiting for the new iMac, I'm going to wait for that. But man, you're going to be waiting like at least a year.
Yeah.
So,
and it's like the thing with Apple that they don't quite get is like, let's say you're starting at 2.
Yeah.
So Apple have a 2 gig system and, Dell have a 2 gig system.
Yeah.
And then a year later, Dell have a 4 gig system. And Apple still have the 2 gig.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, I can deal with it. And then the year after that, they have an 8 gig. So then Apple update, and you're like, well, it was only a few gigs off.
Yeah.
But 8 becomes 16.
Yeah.
Becomes 32.
Oh, yeah.
Becomes 64. So, like, say we're up at the...
And it's not just processor, it's like graphics card. It's
exactly.
RAM.
So we're at 64 gigs, right, for Apple and Dell.
Yeah.
They both released their brand new version this year.
Yeah.
Apple don't update it next year. Dell are bringing out a 128 gig system.
Yeah.
And then if it takes Apple another year to get up, they're bringing out a 256 gig system.
Yeah, exactly.
And suddenly that like 248 system that got them through the last few years is like out the window. Because you're dealing with like hundreds of gigs of difference.
Yeah.
And I just don't think Apple have quite caught on to the industry they're in. Is like, it's getting faster and better. And,
totally. And they're doing it.
And this Intel thing's going to scare the crap out of them. Because they're like, 18 cores? Where'd that come from?
Well, Apple, because I know the industry really well, Apple are actually doing smart things as well. So Apple are actually developing their own processors. And they're the ones that, I don't know if you heard them, like the A7 and the A8. They're in the iPhone. They're those processors.
Yeah.
So they're their own ones. So those guys are... they actually eventually, they're getting so powerful that they're going to put those into Macs. So Apple, in like maybe 5 years or less than 5 years, are actually going to say like, we don't want Intels anymore. We'll just make them ourselves.
Right.
Because technically for Apple, that's actually quite a big loss for them because they have to buy their CPUs and put them in.
Yeah.
But as soon as Apple can say like, we're going to develop our own CPUs for our computers.
Yeah.
Because they're as like my iPhone 7 is more powerful than your laptop.
Yeah.
I keep saying that. I'm sorry.
It's true. There's no point in sugarcoating this.
The profit margin for them is crazy. But if Intel keep making 18 core processors, then Apple can't help but and Intel's got a brand name for itself.
You think it's going to turn into like a switch system? So like you have your phone, you walk around with your phone all day.
Yeah.
And then when you get home, you have like your laptop chassis and you just like slide it in the side.
There's a phone, I don't know, I think it's Asus, because Asus are known for their powerhouses.
How did they steal my idea? I just came up with it.
Yeah, they basically, you dock it and then that becomes your thing.
Yeah.
And it runs Android, and as soon as you dock it, I think it runs Chrome OS or something.
Okay.
But yeah, I can see it probably going that way as well.
Yeah, so instead of having a CPU in the laptop, you just take out your phone.
Yeah, and then you're basically on the go with the exact same everything, just smaller screen.
And then you just
maybe
slide
the mobile
it back
version
in.
of it, slide it in, and then boom. It's the same with like laptops. Like I like the Mac laptop, but like the Surface, the Microsoft Surface, like you can take the screen off and use it as a thing. But how many times do you need to take that screen off and like just scroll up and down with your finger? I don't know. Maybe people do.
But I think that's kind of like I'll take this to work. So you're on the subway or whatever.
Yeah.
Then you get home, you log it back into
Yeah.
So I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
But like, how powerful would a phone have to be able to run a MacBook?
But they're just getting more and more powerful. Like every 6 months.
Well, all they need is one of those Intel 18 cores.
Yeah. It's getting insane. Like the power of things. Like I'm looking at the PlayStation. We've got the PlayStation here set up.
Yeah.
We're gonna play some Injustice later on, but that's PlayStation
more powerful
is
than my MacBook.
super powerful. But really, like half of that PlayStation there is the CD-ROM, which is very old technology.
Yeah.
You need to get rid of that. And then the other part of it is like fans just to cool it. The actual PlayStation is like the size of like a CD, really. Like the components. So, and that powers like crazy games.
Yeah.
As soon as they get rid of the CD-ROM,
get rid of the CD-ROM,
you can half the size of that, and then technology is getting even more efficient. That you don't have to have the fans; you can just have it passive cooling.
Right.
So, as soon as you get that, you're going to have PlayStations the size of Apple TVs.
Cool.
And that's going to be like 5 years, maybe a little longer. But yeah,
just in time to play in your driving car.
Boom. I don't know what's going on outside. There's a lot of banging, and
as always we apologize for the fact that the real world exists as these podcasts go on.
Also, when I say banging, I mean like people thumping on the wall.
I don't think that slang equates, so it's all right. I don't think it's quite as common over here.
Okay. I don't know, maybe
there's people banging outside.
The last tech one I had here, which is kind of like it means a lot to me, is music, and like so. What do you use for your music pleasures? Like, what do you listen to? Are you a Spotify guy? Are you a Google guy? Are you a Tidal guy?
List.
Or an iTunes?
I have my iTunes list.
So
I do like Spotify.
You're an Android user.
Yeah.
We're just going to let everyone know that. You know?
Again.
Hopefully.
Just kick me when I'm down.
Hopefully we don't lose anyone. No, there's probably more Android than there are.
Android.
But I love Spotify. Spotify's great. I used to be audio, Spotify. The reason why I bring it up is because Google Music... they're offering 4 free months for anyone who just signs up for it. So we've all got Gmail accounts.
Right,
so you can just sign up for it. You get 4 free months free. But the cool thing with that is you can just sign up with another Google email if you wanted and get another 4 or whatever. But I just having that 4 months is pretty powerful.
So Google Music is like...
It's basically like Spotify and everything.
Okay.
So, and
I'm going to try that out then.
Yeah, they got hundreds of thousands or millions of tracks and stuff. So, but just where the music industry's gone to. Because you remember in like 15, 20 years ago, like we were buying singles for like $5 or whatever.
Yeah.
And even Google Music and Spotify, when they're, when you're actually paying for the plan, it's $9.99 a month. And you get all the music you want. Like, it's so great. Can you see...
$10 would get you... Not even a CD back in the day.
You wouldn't get an album.
No.
You wouldn't get an album. No way. So I find it crazy that they're offering 4 months. Like I know Apple, I think they were offering 3 months, but that's they were trying to really get in with. We've just got everything going on here.
It's kind of a madhouse.
I think it's everyone. There was a volleyball game, and then there was
there's a thunderstorm.
Yeah. So everyone's here, and they're like, "Oh, we'll just stay here, and we'll."
Everyone just stayed in the asylum and decided to wander around doing crazy things.
But, just to clarify, I am a Spotify user. And I use Spotify.
You got the premium, though, with no ads, don't you?
Here's a little trick. Here's a little tipster trick. So
new email account every 3 months.
I do actually do that quite a lot. They offer 99 cents and it gets you 3 months.
Okay.
Which is great. Like, I don't mind paying that. But the other thing is when you're on desktop, if you're on desktop, just go to Spotify web player, do ad blocker. You won't hear any ads. I've been using that for like 2-3 years now. So
we don't endorse this, but we completely do it ourselves.
Yes. Switch. Yeah, so I've been using that for a while. Ad blocker, you don't see any ads or anything. And then on mobile, however, you do need to pay for it. So you either go 99 cents for 3 months.
Right.
And they only offer that every once in a while. I think they give you, if you're brand new, they give you a month free.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the thing, it just was brought to my attention with Google Music, which I've never used, but they were like, we're going to give you 4 months free.
I'm going to try it this week. I'm going to try it tonight.
Give it a go.
I'll come back in a week and I'll tell you if I listened to something or if I didn't.
See what it's like.
I'll come in with my track list and just read off what I listened to.
And then
that's everything.
I'm interested to see everyone else and what they use. And I'm interested to see who uses Tidal. Because Tidal, they kind of market themselves on like lossless audio, so really, really sharp, crisp audio. Yeah. But it's like, well, everyone traveling with their phones doesn't want to, like one track is like 50 megabytes.
Yeah.
Like, no, I want it to be like 2 megabytes.
And how many people can tell the difference?
Because then we start going into our blooming smartphone addiction.
Another
data,
conversation, yeah.
But so Google, they're trying to get into the music more. Like they've already got like their own music platform, but offering the 4 months, I think they're trying to take chunks out of iTunes, out of Spotify,
and this might lead the way to that YouTube audio you were talking about.
I hope so. I really do. Yeah, I think just being able to go to YouTube on your phone and just say listen to audio only. Like, no matter what it is, even if you were, say, Anthony Joshua, we were talking about the fight, and you were like, if I was just to listen to the audio of it, just for some reason there was like, oh, I don't have a lot of data, and just listen to
the
whatever
commentators.
The commentators. It's like, okay, that's fine. Or any old podcast. Surely that's a smart thing for YouTube to do.
We have a lot of our listeners come through YouTube.
Yeah.
So just for their sake, it'd be nice if they could just.
Well, yeah, they ask and we're like, oh yeah, we are on iTunes, but for them just to be able to go, click a little icon and say like, just click the little audio.
We're still working on that SoundCloud thing.
Good old SoundCloud.
And there's other ways we can try and get it, because I know there are Android who don't have the iTunes.
In all honesty, I've been hearing 50-50 things about SoundCloud. They might be gone.
Oh.
And actually, SoundCloud are also trying to go into the music market. They've got their own subscription plan as well. So and
everyone's trying to get in there.
They're all in there, but everyone's a little bit different. Like Spotify has this, and then iTunes has this, and Tidal has someone else. Tidal has like, obviously it's Jay-Z, so Tidal has he has like Friends, which is like Rihanna. Yeah. He's like, oh, bring your album first on here, and they'll do that. iTunes just have the massive power, so they'll be like, oh, we'll get Drake, and he'll drop this here, and he'll go onto our radio station here. Yeah. Spotify, their thing is just like, it's cheap. It's like, we're gonna get Drake in 2 weeks. Yeah. But you're gonna get him for like much cheaper.
It's a very hard market to break it, because it's not really like trying to break the TV market. Like Netflix just came in and said, oh, you'll get all this for 10.
Yeah, no, it's nuts.
But people were already paying for TV and all that.
Apple
you don't have to pay for iTunes.
No, you don't know.
So Tidal coming in trying to be like, oh, well, you pay this much and you'll get the exclusives, like the Netflix thing of the exclusive. But everyone's like, but I didn't have to pay for iTunes.
Yeah.
So and also it's a different
Tidal, you get like the quality of the music, which some people do care about, and you've got the speakers out there. I think your average Joe, like you play the song
on your headphones going to work in the morning.
They're using like $20 headphones or whatever, or earphones or whatever. Whereas Spotify and actually the other thing that iTunes does is they have like, oh, we have a community, so like Drake is like exclusive to iTunes for like a month or whatever, and it's like, and you can go onto his page and look at him blogging and stuff. It's like, do people really use that? I don't know.
Yeah,
so it's just kind
of, I just want to listen to the music on the way home.
Just give me the album. But yeah, like I don't know how much you're into music, but if an album dropped that you loved, AC/DC,
I wouldn't know.
Just whatever.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't follow it. No.
And then you said, iTunes said we're gonna have this for 2 weeks, and then it'll be on Spotify. Would you personally care?
No.
You'd just be like.
It's not like a movie. Like this weekend, I want to go see Wonder Woman because it's out, and I want to be in there. And like, obviously, we have to do the review and all that.
Sure.
But it's also like thinking like, oh, I care about that. I want to see it. I want to be in there. But I don't have that connection to music. Like even bands I love, I'm like, oh, they dropped a new record. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Like
You're not exactly like, I'm going to sign up here just because of this. So.
And I still don't understand why you would with music, because it seems less of a event kind of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe people out there getting really offended being like, no, it's a big thing, but
sure,
it's an album. It's whatever, 12 tracks, 3 minutes each. It doesn't seem like something that like I have to be there on opening day,
Right.
because music seems a little bit more private than like cinema is kind of a collective experience.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're going to a movie. Like, you want to be at the movies for...
Yeah, and you can talk about it, but I don't see as many people talking about, like, lyrics and stuff. Like, people do, but not as much in the masses.
Yeah.
The other thing is, like you mentioned, music is quite private, because if I was to look at your phone and go through your music, you're going to have a couple of gems on there where I'm going to be like, Taylor Swift? Taylor Swift? Or whatever it is, you know?
But that's a weird thing about music. When you go through someone's phone or they say they like a musician, people get physically angry that you like something. What do you care? You don't have to listen to it. Yeah. I've never quite understood how people, like, I used to do it, but then I realized how weird a habit is where someone says, oh, I like this band. And if I don't like the band, it's like I judged them. I judged them as a person. I'm like, totally. What's wrong with you?
I find that with film.
Who dropped you on a head?
I found that with film.
Film definitely. If you choose the wrong film, you're a scumbag.
But people will like comment on something just because they have to. They'll be like, I don't know, man. Like, I think they could have, done that scene longer or whatever. Yeah. It's like, yeah, sure. But I don't know. Sometimes it's like they just read what everyone else is saying on the web. Like, they'll read that people are complaining about that one thing. Yeah. So I'll just jump in on it. Yeah. But,
like we do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Have you got a tech bollocks question this week? I got one.
I've left it up for you.
Yes, tech bollocks question. Here's your tech bollocks question for this week.
All right, what we got?
At what point does a human being? At what point? Let me finish. At what point does a human being become a cyborg? Yeah, that shuts you up for a minute. So, a cyborg is generally considered a human that has biomechanical parts connected to them that give feedback.
Sure.
So, for example, if you got like a splint, that doesn't make you a robot. Or like if you have metal fillings in your teeth, that doesn't count. Yeah. But if you have a robot hand, like you got your Bucky Barnes situation, he's a cyborg now.
Yeah. So, as you're talking about in like small details, and if someone was to get hearing aid, are they cyborgs?
Here's where it came from for me. Who is the fastest man in the world?
Usain Bolt.
Yeah. 100 meters, 200 meters, fastest man in the world.
Sure.
Who's the fastest man at 400 meters?
Is it him as well?
No, it's a man named Wade van Niekerk. I screwed that up.
Really?
He's Dutch.
Okay.
400 meters. He's the world fastest man. Did it in like 40 seconds.
Faster than Bolt?
He's faster than Bolt, yeah.
Okay.
So, Bolt, I don't think Bolt's ever ran 400 meters in it. Maybe he has, I don't know. Who is the fastest marathon runner?
I don't know, my friend.
His name is Dennis Kimetto.
Okay.
He did the marathon in 2 hours, 2 minutes official.
Okay.
Now this came up because recently my brother told me about Nike did a stunt where they had these guys in like perfect conditions trying to break the track record in their new shoes.
Okay.
So they were trying to get under 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I think they got 2 hours, 1 minute or something.
Right.
But this guy's the official record at 2 hours, 2 minutes, okay? Now in 2012, a man named Joshua Cassidy got the marathon record. Guess what time he did the marathon record in?
What was the previous one, sir?
2 hours, 2 minutes.
I don't know, 1 hour 58?
1 hour 18.
What?
Now you see the difference here is very simple. Joshua Cassidy is paralyzed. Okay. And he did it in a wheelchair.
Oh.
So here's a weird fact. The 400 meters guy, he's a normal able-bodied athlete. Yeah. I don't want to say normal person because that kind of offends people, I guess. But, he's a normal runner.
Yeah.
Every single record over 400 meters is owned by someone in a wheelchair.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So the only problem with being in a wheelchair is getting up to speed. So, once Usain Bolt gets started, his leg is pushing every single time. Like, this is just my basic understanding of it.
Yeah.
One leg pushes, other leg pushes. So he's constantly getting locomotion going. Yeah. But if you're in a wheelchair, your arms have to push down. Yeah. Then you have to bring your arms back up and then push down again. And in that upward motion, you're not making any speed. Yeah. But what happens is once you get up to 400 meters, your momentum's taking you up. So as you're bringing your arms up again, the wheels are moving on their own.
Totally, yeah.
So that means everybody over 400 meters, every record over 400 meters is owned by somebody in a wheelchair. So they're all technically cyborgs, except that the wheelchair doesn't give feedback.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It doesn't.
It doesn't.
So,
but my point is the difference between the guy who has the official record for the marathon and the guy who actually has the record for the marathon is one is in a wheelchair. So we've divided them up into able-bodied and disabled, or, you know, Paralympian.
Yeah.
So my point about the cyborgs is this. At some point we will have, you know, a robot arm that can give you feedback.
Sure.
So when do we start cutting them off from sports? When do you say this guy can't be on the Blue Jays?
Yeah.
Because he's got a robotic knee.
Well,
or a robotic heart.
What's your dude's name with the legs in the Paralympics?
Oscar Pistorius.
Yeah.
He was the only guy who's ever competed at the Olympics and Paralympics.
But what's
he went on a murder
what's your
spree.
thing on him because of the like bounciness that gives him? Because that was that was talk. You know?
That's one of the first things they've actually got now in terms of cybernetical connections.
Sure.
Is legs.
Yeah.
And I think in 2002 there was a guy who did.
But also he has
hand.
It's
the spring loaded.
Yeah. So like that's technically an advantage.
But that's what I mean about advantage, disadvantage. Like when do you get to say you're a cyborg, you cannot compete? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can't go and do the, I don't know, NBA and have like a metal arm that gives you a perfect free throw.
Yeah.
They just be like, no, you can't do that.
True, yeah.
So we've obviously made a differentiation.
Well, I think it's going to happen until the advancements are up there and they're knowable to everyone. Like, I mean, like whether it's an eye or an arm, but as soon as like, I mean, it's definitely going to be made known to us when an NBA player has like a metal arm and he can like throw exact 3-pointers.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when do I think that's going to happen? I think it's going to actually happen pretty damn soon.
Oh, well, it's already technically happened in terms of people being a cyborg.
It's happening, but when's it going to really break?
Yeah.
Like everyone's going to be like, hang on a second, this team or this person shouldn't have won because of this.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's going to happen pretty damn soon because of tech, but I don't know where it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like it could happen as easy as this is kind of throwing out there, but darts. The guy has a mechanical eye or whatever. Like I know that's a little bit far throwing.
Yeah, they've done stuff with the eye. Yeah, that was actually one of the first things they did back in the 70s.
Right.
They gave a guy LED implants behind the eye.
Yeah.
That let him see like a grayscale color.
Right.
Now this was hooked up to this giant machine that he couldn't move.
Yeah.
But as time went on, that machine became something that could just be connected to like something on his jacket, and he could see. So like, that was just getting a guy from 0 to normal.
Yeah.
But if you get a guy from 100% up to 120%, 150%, he's got a little magnification thing on his
Well, that's like
eye.
Last week when I mentioned the Lowe's using the exoskeleton.
Yeah, the exoskeleton.
Like they can lift heavier and they can bring them up because they're wearing this suit. You know, kind of thing like that. It's a good question. Like, I mean, how do you feel about it? Like, what do you like?
My thing is, you'd immediately say, "Oh, if you've got a cybernetic, you can't be in a regular competition."
I agree with that.
But if you're a sports fan and you can get a guy with a cybernetic arm,
well, let's go football because you're into your football, soccer for all the
like if you
North
could get a guy
Americans.
with cybernetic legs,
so they're playing your team, and they beat you,
like ridiculously beat you, because they're just endlessly
You're
faster.
not going to be best pleased. The fans aren't going to be best pleased.
No.
There's going to be outrage. It's going to be like, well, this guy scored 3 goals. No one's ever scored
But
those.
if you look at it in terms of a sporting thing, like something a little bit more physical, like American football, like you could have guys that can throw perfect passes, guys who can run like the 100 meters faster than Usain Bolt.
They're going to fatigue, you know. Whereas this one guy with the arm is always.
But I mean, if you have both teams that are at that level, then that means every game is going to be like top quality.
Yeah.
So if you were playing football, it'd be like everybody on the team is Lionel Messi.
And watching the regular football is going to be boring.
Exactly.
You know.
So you have like the top quality human athletes.
Sure.
Just cannot compete with the cyborg athletes.
Yeah.
And it's the same as if you're watching Joshua Klitschko. You're like, these are the best of the best.
It's going to be like...
but these two motherfuckers have got steel jaws and robot arms.
Yeah.
And they're so fast. And you're just like, what is going on?
Yeah, what's that movie? Sorry, just as you brought that up, there's the one with Hugh Jackman, the robots.
Oh,
he's
Real
fighting
Steel.
the boxing. Real Steel, sorry. Yeah. Just reminded me of that.
But in terms of cyborgs, I'm like, this guy is going to be better than us.
I found
he'll run faster or throw faster.
The question that you just brought up there, the first time you brought it up, the thing that was amazing to me was like, what makes a cyborg?
Yeah.
You know, is in like the smallest thing. You know,
yeah.
the smallest thing that you react to that is implanted into you. Suddenly you're a cyborg. Is that what you were basically saying?
Like
you know? That's pretty crazy.
Some of the definitions of people who are cyborgs now are people of cochlear implants.
Right.
That's cochlear for the people out there who can't hear my accent. Do you know the thing that can attaches to the side of the head?
Yeah,
and lets people hear again.
Yeah.
Because technically,
cyborg.
That person had no hearing.
Yeah.
You've given them hearing, and that requires feedback because you need to be able to level it out and
but it
make
always
sure you're getting.
Sounds better when you say cyborg.
Cyborg.
Yeah.
And then there's the people that have little chips in their hand.
Yeah.
So they can open doors.
Right.
It's like their personal smart card reader.
Why don't they just use the handle?
Yeah, well, you know, it's the way people are in America now. Handles are for losers. But you can also get that connected to like your bank account. So you can just, it's like your PIN. Sure. Like you swipe your thing. And
yeah.
So they're cyborgs.
Yeah.
On a level of like, it's got a technological component.
Yeah, totally.
But in terms of like someone who's actually going around day to day with something that they can control, we're not quite there. But we're very close.
When do you think we'll see a football game or a basketball game where the guy's got a mechanical leg or arm?
Yeah.
And that leg or arm is giving him an advantage. Like, do you
I
like it's going to happen eventually?
I don't think it'll happen. I think they're going to have to like. So. But that's what I'm saying about it's going to become this like 2-tier process of they'll just blanket say this guy can't play.
Unfair advantage.
Yeah. And then all those guys who have that unfair advantage would be like, we'll just make our own league.
Yeah. But that
the cyborg league.
Yeah, okay. So then that goes to your question as when, because that will take a while.
Yeah,
that will take a while.
Like to have that many people meeting,
you know, and then you're gonna have a crowd of those people cheering them on.
Yeah.
You know, in a way.
Yeah.
You'll have regulars. I don't know if they should be calling
like the only reason like Paralympics don't get the respect of regular Olympians is because of just like a perception thing.
Yeah.
Of like they're not quite as good.
Sure.
But if you have Paralympians that are doing better than the Olympians,
throwing further, and
like you get a guy with a robot arm, like throwing the javelin, you're like, but even then, like, does a cyborg get into the Paralympics? Because the Paralympics, they have all these like T1, T2, all these levels of like how blind you are,
I think that will be the start of it. I think that will be the start of it. Is
like Pistorius, like you said, is a good example.
I actually think he's a really good example because like people were saying like, this guy's winning, he's kicking ass.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are saying like, but is he getting like
an extra bounce?
Extra bounce, and that is actually the start of it.
Yeah.
And then that will happen again in like a long jump or something like that. And then people will be like, okay, hang on a second. I don't know.
Yeah, somebody's doing archery on a new eye.
Exactly.
That's even better than the old eye.
Yeah. So I think it will just happen gradually like that. But oh man, it's crazy to think it's the cyborg Olympics or something like that.
And cyborg NFL.
I can see like just because I'm a designer, I can see like the UI at the bottom. It'll be like the Olympic Games. And then you'll have like the times, but then you'll have like a regular time, and then you'll have a blue one, which is the cyborg time.
WR, you know, BW or CWR.
So you'll see a drastic change. You'll be like, that's half the time, but then it will be in blue. So it's like the cyborg Olympics.
Yeah.
So as long as I'm doing the announcement for it, the cyborg.
So then,
as long as it looks better than the fucking cyborg from Justice League.
Justice League trailer. So the other question there is, I'd get going off from it on the moral thing of like for me, if I was to think about it, I think you're a cyborg if you get anything after birth.
Right.
So I think birth is your cutoff.
Yeah.
If you're not born with it,
you're pure.
Yeah. You're pure or whatever. Like if you were born and you had a deformity or you had an illness.
You're not being born with devices on you.
Exactly. You're born as clean as you can get.
Sure.
So everything after that is an addition. So if you get anything past birth, you're a cyborg.
Yeah. Also, is cyborg a harsh word, or is that a cool term for it? I don't know. Like, is that actually the official term as well?
An official term. I'll get you the official definition. A cyborg is a being with both organic and biomechatronic body parts.
Okay.
And it was first coined in 1960.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm just curious.
There's all the other things of like androids. And that's not the same thing. A cyborg is definitely
cybernetics on a
human.
On a human. Yeah.
Like technically, the Terminator is a cyborg.
Right.
Because it's a robot, but it's got human parts.
Parts.
Yeah. But generally, the way it's considered is it's a living creature that's being added to with mechanical parts.
Right.
I just think we have to accept that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And how do we deal with the fact that they will eventually be stronger and faster and better than us?
How about this scenario? How about you've got Ronaldo playing? I'm just choosing Ronaldo. You'd think an Englishman would know his football.
Yeah.
I'm out of touch. You're out of touch. I don't even know the rest of the song.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Another English failing. It's an English song.
I'd like to think that you're going to cut that out, but you're not.
Oh, Christ.
But Ronaldo...
Every song stays in. That's a rule.
So you got Ronaldo, and then he's starting to fatigue. There's other players coming in. Ronaldo decides to get his legs taken off, cyborg legs. He's going to be in the cyborg Premier League. Yeah. And then he's going to really excel over there. Yeah. Do you see that ever happening? And I'm not saying with Ronaldo. I'm just saying it down the
players
line.
Like deliberately
like, as small
augmenting themselves.
As small as like a dart player or something with an eye or something. But then you can argue that you've got these parts. I guess it's up to you to use them. I'm really going to extremes here by dropping legs off. But you can argue that it's going to become almost like Formula One. You're going to have a part that's designed by a certain manufacturer, and then you're going to have your pistons are going to be done.
The Makers League, and then, the manufacturers groupings,
Oh, Rooney, he's out of gas. He's gone in for a
he's gone in for a pit stop.
That would be interesting as well.
I just think we have to get to the point of, I think most of the cybernetics are going to come through amputees and people coming back from war and soldiers, because that's what you want. You want your soldiers to come back and at least give them some sort of a measurable life. So I know a lot of the testing with the robotic hands for sensory input, so you can actually physically move the hand. Yeah. And they have gone to the point of you can move the robot hand. Yeah. And then there's been other tests I've seen where they can give some sort of feedback, like haptic feedback or physical kind of stimuli, so that when the robot touches something, you've touched it. Yeah. Because that's the next part of it. It's not enough to control the robot. Yeah. You have to know that you're not going to grab a watermelon and break it, or somebody's hand. Yeah. You got to shake their hand and not screw it up.
They just need to speak to the guys of what was it, Star Trek Next Generation?
Yeah, that's
Data. Remember he had the skin patch?
Yeah.
The Borg, that's it.
Yeah, the Borgs. Yeah.
We'll try and contact the Borgs. So, cyborgs.
Humans with all the and that's where Borg came from. Yeah.
They were slightly going off here, just very quickly, but the Borg, just in general, just friggin' loved that as an enemy. They're they were one of my favorite enemies.
They were future zombies. So, they were amazing.
Yeah. And then when they took Picard as well, and you were like, oh,
Locutus of Borg. That was a great episode.
And then you had 7 of 9.
I love the way that kept on. He's still got messed up from that years later.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he still has these shots.
Star Trek First Contact. Where that's right. PTSD, and you still remembering.
Such a good film.
Yeah, so it was one of the best ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the
cyborgs.
The cyborgs.
Yeah. So I think the law will have to be what you're born with. That's what you get. Yeah. And if you start adding to that, you're out.
Do you see people adding to it though, or do you see it because it's a decision they have to make?
This is where the moral thing comes in. If you're born blind, and you get cybernetic eyes put in, so you can see. Sure. Does that automatically disqualify you from?
It does,
every sport in the world,
because those are the cards that you've been dealt. It is because of that. However, what happens when you get a Tony Stark who just wants to have those 2 arms, which can do whatever he wants? Yeah. He pays for them. Yeah. So the rich, they pay for it, they have them. But as soon as you do that, there's going to be something like little signage that you got to do, and it's if you ever compete in this or whatever, it's you are a cyborg, basically.
Well, that's the thing. You're kind of screwed. It's like the disability. What's the thing?
What about if it's your little finger?
Just one finger.
Yeah, and you lost it through an accident, and they replaced it, and they were like, "Oh, we'll give you full motion, everything. Are you now a cyborg and you can't play tennis?" Yep. Against
this is what
Andy Murray?
I mean. How little is it? It has to be. I think it has to be a complete nothing. If you weren't born like this,
sure. So if you lost your little finger due to an accident, they replaced it, and then you were a tennis player. Yeah. And then you were practicing and you wanted to play Andy Murray. Yeah. He was still the champion. Sorry, sir. Your little finger. It's
There's a little robot finger there. That doesn't
You're
count.
classified as a cyborg. You can enter the cyborg Olympics and play Tony Stark.
Yeah, with his 2 robot arms.
Stony
Tark.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy to think. And so are you in favor of, like, you will have to...
No, because it's discrimination again. Like, if your kid is born blind and you give him cyborg eyes, then that kid's like, oh, I can never play sport. Like, I'm talking like the first wave.
But they're just going to be grateful
before there's a cyborg league.
They're going to be grateful they can just see.
Yeah, but at the same time, you can't just say, oh, well, you're great. You should be grateful because you're normal.
Don't have to wear these glasses.
Yeah, like, you have to wear glasses. That's...
I know what you're saying. The decision's been made for them.
Yeah.
They had no decision in...
and then they grow up and like, I love basketball. I want to play basketball. It's like, you can't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You've got eyes. Like, you just can't do it. Yeah. And it's like, but why? I haven't done anything wrong.
Sure.
It's like, well, you were born wrong. It's like, that's a harsh thing to say to somebody, you know?
How dare you?
I have to crush your dreams because you were born wrong. Like, that's horrible.
No, I'm with you on it as well. Like, it's the smallest thing, and it needs to, like, you're born pure, and then if anything, like, even if it's the eyes, like you said, from birth, but you get them replaced, you are a cyborg. Yeah, it still sounds very weird to me to say that. You're a cyborg, son.
You're a cyborg, son.
Yeah. It's like, am I adopted? No, you're just a cyborg.
It's just a cyborg.
So, you ever wondered
Are you sure I'm not adopted? No, I did not fuck a toaster.
Did you ever wonder why you've never gone for a piss? So I am in grievement grievement.
You're in grievement over the child who can't take a piss.
I just can't speak. I'm with you on, like, you wouldn't be able to have them compete, or there'd be so much uproar if, you know, this guy won because of his eyes, or this and that. When it's going to happen, I think it's going to be a while, like a long while, like before any of our Uber story conversations we've had or anything. But
I think that'll happen.
I can
first.
see it. I can totally see it happening, and we've got to put that prediction down in this podcast, episode 14. Yeah.
So the law is you're born as how you are.
It's just crazy to think about all of these things that we talk about, like with the cyborgs and the self-driving cars.
And then our 2 nieces have to do it in whatever,
phones,
16 years.
Which phones, and they're not going to be called phones in 50 years. They're going to be like, why are you calling them phones?
Smarties, that's what I'm thinking.
They're going to be like embedded into their cyborg eyes.
So,
I mean, you and I are pure, aren't we?
I have a broken arm, so I have a plate in my arm.
Have you got a plate in your arm?
Yeah. But that doesn't count because I don't get any feedback from it.
You don't get any feedback from it.
Except if it's raining, then it kind of pisses me off and makes me hurt like an old man with a bad
Technically, that's feedback, man.
Yeah, true.
So technically, we can call you T2000. Liquid. We can melt that, put it into good old liquid metal.
So anyway, as always, anybody got any thoughts? Send it to us on Twitter. Yeah, at Rant and Bollox, and Gmail, rantandbollocks@gmail.com.
And I guess if you've got any modifications, that you do get feedback from, as little as it is or as big as it is, like thoughts on that as well.
Like, what would you love to see as a sport enhanced with cyborg parts, like the javelin, where they're just throwing it outside the stadium? They're just flinging it across the country.
That would be hilarious, actually. Seeing that'd be a great ad for it as well. Like have an Olympic stadium, but their one is a thing on a it's like a target on a zeppelin in the sky. You know, that'd be a great ad. It's like, great little topic, that, man. Yeah.
So now we go on.
Onto some gaming news.
Yep. Yeah. Once again, I have nothing to talk about.
Absolutely nothing.
No, I'm just looking forward to playing Injustice.
Yeah, we've got Injustice set up here.
We should have played Injustice before we did this, so we could have talked about Injustice. But no, that's not how we do things.
We'll do that on the next week's. Yeah, with everything else.
Got a lot to do next week.
We always do.
We better turn up.
We always pile it up. And next week we're gone.
We could do work, but no, we'll do it next week.
Yeah, on the list was E3. We keep talking about it. But the reason I bring it up is because, every year before E3, a week or two, like, leaks come out, and also like some of the games and some of the brands like release details on what's going to happen. So there's been a few kind of rumors and leaks, and then I almost feel like the companies do it on purpose just to get a bit of momentum before their press conference. I won't be surprised. The first one is
some guy just walking in with an envelope that just says Red Dead 2 question mark.
Which, did you hear, that got delayed until 2018?
Well, that's it. We're going home. So, this podcast is
pack
over.
It up. Just going to close the laptops.
It's done. So. Bullshit.
We're looking forward to getting our horses.
That's all I care
actually
about.
playing a game together.
Yeah.
So, but no, can't do that until 2018.
No, we'll play Wipeout 2.
Yeah, the first one was FIFA 18. So there's just a rumor, but there's a rumor that Sony have
Cyborg Leagues.
Cyborg Leagues. That'll be hilarious.
That's a callback. Anybody just listening to this segment has no idea what that means.
All the players run twice as fast.
Yeah. You can get the little enhancement if you pay for it, the DLC. You get robot leg.
It only works if you use a turbo controller.
Just scoring from the halfway line. Boom.
That'll be hilarious, actually. No, FIFA 18, apparently Sony might have bagged it as not an exclusive, but as like exclusive content to it or something. So maybe it'll come out first in it.
Like a player or something.
Or there'll be a team or a player or jerseys, but Sony might have. It's just a rumor again. They might have, and that could be in their press conference because they need these powerful things to people to be like, what? Like, you know, all the official players are going to be in their Sony version, and then they're just going to be default faces in the Xbox. God, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah,
whatever
it's going to be like the old Konami
like
Pro
Evolution or whatever
game,
But there's a rumor that Sony have bagged some kind of deal with them. And that's big news because FIFA is EA's best-selling game.
Yeah,
like
huge. Yeah,
especially in
all
Europe.
around the world.
They always bundle it with a console. So
every year you buy the new FIFA, even though it's the same damn game.
The interesting thing is when we do our E3 live stream, like Xbox is going to come. You know, like I said, they're going to be like, we got this, you know, and then
in the background, I'll be playing FIFA 17.
Yeah, FIFA 17. Oh, it looks shit, mate.
Look at this; it looks crap.
It doesn't look stick figures.
If this was in 4K now, that would be great.
But we're going to be watching that on Sunday. So Sunday night, we're going to be like, oh, yeah, they've done it. They've got something good. Or we could be like, they're in fucking trouble. And then Sony have got to come with...
Now we've got a yellow ball.
You know, basically, if Xbox don't talk about FIFA 18 in their conference, it means they might have lost it.
Right.
Or something might have happened. Because if EA don't come up there and go like, we're supporting the new, console.
Yeah, the new 4K Scorpio.
Look at the 4K Rooney face.
Yeah. God, don't make me do that. It's hard enough watching them on TV.
But yeah, that's one. Another one, Nintendo have been following up quite nicely. There's a rumor, Super Smash Bros. Super Smash Bros. Is like a huge game for Nintendo.
Yeah.
Like I never
big on the Wii, yeah.
I never got into it, but the Wii and the Wii U, like huge game. Like it's like a, you play with your mates. It's like 4-player.
Yeah.
You can
little
play
bubbles and everything coming out. Yeah, it's great.
Apparently they're going to bring that out on the Switch. We're going to announce that at E3. So that could be pretty good. That would be a really good move for them, and that would sell a lot more systems as well.
Yeah, it'd be really good if you had more than one game on your system.
Well, they've got Mario Kart and they've got Zelda.
I'm no expert.
Mario Kart and Zelda, two big games, and then Smash Bros. But if they announce a release date this year for it, that's gonna be pretty big. The other smart thing they could do is the Wii U version, so the one that came out 2 years ago, I think. If they just basically enhance that, so just take that game and then make it look better, and
skin it up,
and then also make it so that you can play it on a Switch on the go.
Yeah,
like that would sell consoles. Like Smash on Nintendo is such a popular. It's like a tournament thing,
right?
Like Street Fighter 2 has its own tournaments. Or Street Fighter. Sorry,
it's one of them going on at the moment up here.
Oh yeah,
it's called Fight. Actually, Fight North or something like that.
When you were in Ireland, there was a big Street Fighter tournament in Ireland. So,
was there?
Yeah, there was a massive one. I don't know whereabouts it was. But,
okay, because I know there's one here happening in the cinemas and
people
stuff. I saw
crazy.
The ads.
They go crazy for it. But Smash Bros is the same thing. They go crazy for it. So if Nintendo need to bring something to E3 big time as well.
Yeah.
So if Sony's got so many games, so they're okay. But if they've got FIFA 18 exclusives, and Xbox got a brand new console with awesome graphics, new games, Nintendo need to bring some good shit. So Smash Bros would be a good start. So that's just a rumor. Hopefully that happens. I know a lot, half the people in this office will be like, fuck, if that's coming out on Switch, I'm going to go for it.
For Nintendo to compete against the Scorpio now, Scorpio's 4K.
Yeah.
The Switch is 720.
It's 720. The only thing is it's mobile.
More powerful.
It's mobile. We can play the Switch right now, whereas
so is the Xbox.
Scorpio,
you just need a really long cable.
You just need a long cable, yeah. That's what this one here
Go
is.
down to the beach.
This one's running all the way from Burlington. So. FarCry. Do you know FarCry?
I know of it. Oh,
the game, the first-person game.
FarCry Primal.
That was the last one.
Yeah, I played that one.
They just announced FarCry 5.
Make your own bow and arrows and crap.
That's right. Cool. Yeah. Go back, old school, hunt some lions and tigers. Far Cry 5 just got announced, and that is going to be in USA. So it's going to be in they call it Hope Country, but it's all got this,
Right.
like, it's got religious tones to it. So you got this like religious cult leader.
It's like that Southern Baptist belt kind of thing, right?
Pretty much. You got so it's kind of cool. Actually, I kind of like the look of it because I was hoping they weren't just going to do this jungle environment where you're going to hunt tigers and there's elephants and there's a plane in the sky. It's a little bit different, but people love FarCry. Like FarCry's got like a good history, so I know a lot of people were thinking they were just going to do another jungle theme or like a primal or whatever, but Far Cry 5, we don't know too much about it, but it's like a Montana type USA setting.
So it's going to be kind of like a GTA setting?
Yeah. So it's still got like the wilderness, but
it's got a little bit
more... But it's got modern,
like you've suburbs and townships.
So it kind of looks...
like Red Dead, really.
Good, so exactly, yeah. Like, I mean, not obviously all the way back then. But
but not the gameplay, but that kind of thing of like, it's mostly barren, but there's major towns you can go and kick shit up in.
Yeah, and then the guys at FarCry...
I'm coming here to give you all a bunch of problems with the gun I made out in the woods.
Yo, I'm Mary Poppins, yo. I'm pretty sure he's going to be in it. So.
He has to be in it.
It's also being done by Ubisoft Montreal, which you used to live near. Not Montreal.
Montreal.
By the
Ubisoft
Toronto
in Toronto,
one,
yeah.
But it's done by the Montreal guys, so, big ups to them. So hopefully they can do something good with that. But
hopefully they can capture that classic Southern spirit. I'm going to shoot you real good with this gun I made.
Well, they've called it Hope Country, so I think they're onto something.
I think I should be hired, like stereotypical voice number 4.
Yeah,
welcome to the South. Welcome to Hope County. We don't like your kind around here, you cyborg.
You heard it first here.
Yeah. Far Cry Cyborg.
Wipeout. I'm anxious for Wipeout coming out soon. So Wipeout,
I just want to have it really loud so we can get that dance track going.
I just want to record you. I'm going to need to get the camera on you for this one. Yeah. And just put you on the fastest track. I just want to see as soon as you blink, like, I blinked, I crashed, I blinked.
I've killed myself, my family. Oh, here's a quick tangent on this. I was watching the Indianapolis 500.
There was a big crash.
Holy crap, was there a crash?
My mate in England was... said that was pretty epic. So
I was watching it and I was with Steve.
Everyone okay?
And we were just chatting. He couldn't see the screen and I could see the screen. And you know me, like I'll go off on one, whatever. But I looked at the screen and went, Jesus Christ on a fucking stick. Fuck. And he just thought I was joking like I would.
Sure.
But my face didn't change. And he's like, what? And he looks at the screen and he waits and he sees the replay. And we're both just like, holy shit, is he dead?
Done.
And then there was this weird bit where all the stewards, because we couldn't hear the sound.
Right.
The stewards were all looking on the side of the track.
Sure.
Where all the tires were. And we're like, are they looking for bits of the driver? Or what is happening here?
Bloody hell.
But they had the footage from like every angle. They had like footage from other cars.
Right.
Then the slow-mo. So what happened was one guy hit the wall, bounced off the wall and went back in toward the middle of the track. And someone behind him hit him. And these things are like paper.
Right.
The guy who hit him just went right up in the air, flipped in midair, hit the wall, caught on fire because all the gas had burst.
Right.
Then they exploded, so he rolled even further, and then he skids right out into the middle of the track.
Crazy.
Walked away fine.
Oh, walked
Both of
away?
them are fine.
Really?
Yeah.
Because those cars are just like so friggin' thin and light.
Yeah, they're just designed to be like, they're just jet airplanes with wheels.
That's crazy. That's very, very lucky that they did that.
So that's me in Wipeout.
Yeah. That's how I imagine the cars as well, floating like that.
Yeah.
Just like super lightweight cars.
Yeah.
But going back to that, the music for that game was like made half the game.
Yeah, it was
like,
great.
It was Prodigy.
And it seemed to just like, I don't know if they designed on purpose, but like it did seem to up the tempo.
Yeah, I think
as the track went faster.
Yeah, you always had the.
Yeah, and then it started to get up and up and up, and you're just like, I can't make it. I'm losing control.
So one thing which I know you know a lot about licensing with music is they've been having trouble getting all the original stuff.
Right.
So instead of that,
they've been
trying to get them. But then they've been getting newer ones and stuff. So they've managed to get like Prodigy still and like all of their old school ones.
Yeah.
And some new ones as well. The cool thing is some guys actually made a playlist on Spotify. I'm sure it's on like Apple as well. So you can listen to the playlist. So you just it's called Wipeout Omega. That's the collection.
The new version,
Yeah. So but basically that is on Spotify, so you can listen to all the music. They've got like one of the newer Prodigy songs, but
What's it called?
The song,
The game.
Wipeout Omega.
What's it called?
So Omega.
Omega.
Yeah. Omega.
Just getting everybody in your accent.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Omega. Yeah, that one is coming out. I've got a list here.
It's out this month, or no?
Oh yeah, it's out this
May,
month.
Next month, June.
It's the 6th. Tekken is out on Friday.
Oh.
And then crashes at the end of the month. I kind of wanted Wipeout to be at the end, but yeah, never mind.
So Wipeout.
At least it's coming out.
So Wipeout, we can play the same time E3's out.
Yeah.
We'll play it that weekend.
Well,
the 13th, isn't it?
Taking a break.
E3?
We can. E3 starts. The Microsoft one is the 11th to the 12th. Whatever the Sunday is.
12th or 11th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Nintendo and
12th,
Sony
13th.
are the 12th, I think, or Nintendo might even be the 13th, the day after.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah. But yeah, regardless, going to be good. We are wondering whether we're going to live stream that. I think most of our audience is on YouTube, so we'll probably just do it on YouTube.
Yeah.
We were thinking about doing it on Twitch because that's a gaming community.
Yeah.
But
we don't
like
play
YouTube.
a lot of games
YouTube's
on
been good to us, so we're probably going to just live stream it on YouTube. If you're not able to tune in, we'll
do a double. We'll live stream E3 on YouTube, and we'll live stream Wipeout on Twitch.
Yeah, we should do that actually. That'd be funny.
Sorry guys, gotta go over and look at the TV and comment on what's happening at the conference. Crash.
Star Trek Bridge Crew. That's the VR Star Trek game.
Mentioned this.
Came out today.
Did it?
So yeah. So I've been kind of out of the loop on VR a little bit. The last time I played was Batman.
You got sick
when we were in that cave last week.
Yep.
But yeah, so the Bridge Crew came out. It's a team play VR game. So basically, the cool thing about this is, I mean, first of all, you need to have rich friends and family and stuff like that. Everyone needs to have it. But you go in and you might be the captain, and then someone else is the engineer, and someone else is just Worf standing there.
Yeah.
And then someone else is, but and you all have to work together to, conquer or defeat the person. The interesting thing here is the HTC Vive. That's the Steam one. They're now giving that game away free when you buy their system.
Ooh.
So that's kind of like they're doing like a bit of an Xbox, PlayStation exclusive thing.
Yeah.
So buy a Vive, we'll give you Star Trek for free. Apparently, it's reviewing pretty well, and people are loving it.
Yeah.
The trouble is, VR for me is I just kind of want to go in and myself and play it.
Yeah.
To have to play with other people, if everyone cooperates, I can't remember.
Corroborates.
Collaborates. They're going to have a lot of fun. But if you got one person that isn't doing that, it's just going to fuck the moment up. So you're going to be like, well, put us into warp. We need to get out of here.
Yeah.
Put us into warp.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
So it all takes place on the bridge.
Yeah.
So there's nobody down in engineering.
No, I think they're all...
That
would be hilarious. Yeah. You know that. You knew... Yeah.
That one guy who's stuck in the bloody...
That would definitely happen.
He's never up on the bridge with everybody else. He's oh, God, I got to fix the damn warp coils again. This is bullshit.
But I'll follow
that would be good, but there's no way we can play that multiplayer.
We'll try and give it a go.
Even if I got one, that would just be two of us. Can't run a bridge with two.
I know.
You need at least
go
5.
Into warp. Steve, go into... Get yourself an Oculus.
Yeah, get your Oculus. We're dead.
Last one I had on the gaming, which I thought was kind of cool, and it's a bit of a freebie, actually. Do you remember the game Crazy Taxi? It was in the arcades. You're in this yellow taxi, and you're driving around. I think it was San Francisco. But you're driving around, you're picking people up, and they're like, I want to go here, and then you drive them around. It's by Sega, and you drive around. It's called Crazy Taxi. It was popular in the arcades and stuff. Yeah. Really cool game. Anyway, you will know about it because it's free to play on iOS and Android starting today. So it's a free game for everyone. It's a really, really fun arcade game. Yeah. I don't know how well it plays on a mobile. I'm assuming if they brought it out, it must do. Yeah. But it's free today, but it's more of just like a nice... callback to an old school game. Yeah. Like, I don't know how, it must be like 15, 20 years old. But basically, the premise is, you're driving around and you pick people up and then they go, I want to go here. And if you get them there in the time given, then you get points. If you get, if you
it's like a twist on a racing game.
It's a classic. Yeah. So, yeah. But free to play. So, give it a go.
Yeah, that
Android
like
and iOS. Yeah. So, but, I think
they'll bring out a special Wipeout Omega VR version.
A lot of people...
Guaranteed seizures.
Here we go. It's very possible at E3 Sony could release something like that. Right. They might be like, hey, this is something Sony like to do. Sony like to actually announce things and almost release them instantly, like
Right.
with little add-ons. So they might be like, hey, because this is what they'll do. We just released Wipeout, which would have been a week before.
Yeah.
We just want to let you guys know that if you've got a PlayStation VR, because they want to plug their system, you can now do the whole game, or you can do like special missions in VR, and you can download that today.
Yeah.
They'll do that. Like,
do
that
it
could
now
be,
on your phones.
I don't know if they'll do that. I'd love it if they did.
Yeah.
But those are the little moments that that like
that's what we live for.
That's what we have to listen out for. So I'm just curious, just before we finish the gaming segment, E3. It's like, I know you know about it, but like just us talking about it, it's going to be interesting, because I know my gaming stuff. You're going to be like, what? Who is this guy?
Who's this
like,
fella?
Why is he talking in this accent? But is there anything that you're looking?
He doesn't look like me.
Are you looking for anything? I know you're more of an Xbox guy, so in the new.
I really want a tank game.
Just a tank game. Okay.
I want to blow the shit out of something.
Why tank?
Because we were talking about Call of Duty a couple of weeks back, and how the new Star Wars is coming out, which I'm really excited for. But then we were talking about how Call of Duty, I don't know, Madagascar, whatever bloody one it was, where they'd introduced the destructive environments,
right,
and everything could just be crushed.
Yeah.
And I remember an arcade game I used to play where you'd sit in like the booth, playing as the tank, trying to blow the shit out of other tanks in the city. So you're just going down these side roads and you're looking and you're blowing holes.
You just want to blow the shit out of
everything. I want
to
blow the shit out of something. Like, I just want a game that's out and out, balls to the wall mental. So it's just like tanks in a city.
Yeah.
And maybe like you control 7 tanks, or you control 1 tank and you've got a group of 7.
Sure.
Whatever. And you just have to blow the shit out of everything.
I've got something for you.
Blows up.
I got something for you. It's funny enough, it's coming from Xbox as well.
Right.
It could be their biggest game at E3.
Right.
I don't think it's going to have tanks, but you're literally blowing up buildings in the city. It's called...
That's halfway
to
what I
want.
want.
It's called Crackdown, and I think it's Crackdown 3. So it's like an exclusive game just to Xbox. Apparently they're going to show it off big time. Yeah. It could be like their opening game for the conference, but remember Crackdown.
Okay, I'll keep an eye on that.
So it's... Maybe not tanks.
I always give out about all the destruction in movies. Yeah. But when it comes to a game,
you're going to be a leveling.
I want to blow the shit out of something.
Yeah. We'll remember this, and if we see it, I'll be like, here's the game.
I think it's to do with like how we grew up, and like when you grew up, games were very limited.
Sure.
And you had to follow a path.
Yeah.
And like you couldn't get past anything. Like Resident Evil's like, oh, this door's closed. It's like, you've got a shotgun. Blow a hole in the door. So like the free roaming games got bigger, and Grand Theft Auto and all these things. Like you can go anywhere, do anything, and now like FarCry, you can make everything into a weapon. And Horizon Zero Dawn's the same thing. I just want to get to the point of like, I can destroy everything. I don't have to do shit. I don't have to follow any mission. I can just like Grand Theft Auto 7 will probably be like that, where you're just like flying helicopters into buildings, and then the next day you go by and like there's still a hole in the building. Sure. Doesn't get repaired, that kind of crap.
There was a great game growing up. Did you ever know a game called Red Faction?
I heard of it. I never got to play it.
You could blow the walls up, but you can blow like a wall up, and then you put a crater in the wall, and then you can blow a crater again within that. Yeah. So you can literally just blow your own passageways.
Right.
So it was on PC, and it was a multiplayer game. Yeah. So I used to play with my brothers, and then my brother would like blow holes in the wall, and then go up and make his own little
just
fucking
make
his own balcony. Like, all right. And it was all with rocket launchers. Yeah. So, but that was like 10, 15 years ago, and even back then it was like, we are creating our own passageways, you know. So I think there's a Red Faction like 4 now or something.
So that's what I'm looking at for. A game with a very solid mechanic where everything is destructible. Yeah. That's what I'd love.
Crackdown, man.
Yeah.
I'm putting it on.
All right, keep an eye on that one.
It's going to happen.
Cool.
So, yeah, man. But yeah, E3, you're going to hear a lot more about gaming stuff, really. And that's coming up real soon.
And we have our Injustice.
And our Injustice. Just to give you guys a little heads up with Injustice. Well, we'll record it anyway, but we haven't played it. I've not played it. We're just going to go straight into the game, and with fighting games, you can just button mash whatever you want. I'm curious to see who Paul picks, and who I don't even know. I don't know. I think there's a lot of people to choose from, and back in the classic days, especially Tekken, you had to unlock people. Apparently, in this game, everyone's there.
Everyone's there from the start.
Boom.
Yeah, like it used to be that you'd have to clear the game on hard,
which I kind of like that, but But I can understand in this day and age, people just...
There was the special download, though. If
there are, if you pre-order and stuff.
But you'll just be able to buy them.
Exactly that. So
that, it's the way the world is now. It's like, no one's going to not sell you a character.
Yeah, I know. Actually, I don't know. Did we talk about this in an episode? But do you know achievements? When you get an achievement, so when you... say like if you and I fought, it might be like achievement unlocked, you know. There's companies now that when you get when you unlock all their achievements, you get this thing called a platinum on the PlayStation.
Okay.
So there's companies now which are charging you for platinums. So they're like, do you want to play through our whole game and spend like possibly like 30, 40 hours just playing everything through the game because you love the game. But then there's like a couple of like achievements which you just can't get. Like it's impossible. Yeah. So so they're charging for their platinum. They're saying like, oh, just unlock the platinum because people are OCD. Like we need to have it. Yeah. So they'll be like $3 and you can get the achievement. You
want that 100%.
There's a lot of people pissed off about that because when you unlock a platinum, it's you that's gone through the game and it's you that's completed it and done it all. Whereas if like, you know, we talk to Steve and goes, oh yeah, I've got the platinum as well. We always bring up Steve. Yeah. But Steve's like, oh, I've got the platinum as well. We're like, oh, man. Like, how long did you... I didn't know you weren't really that great at the game. I just paid $3 for it. Yeah. No, like, I needed to have it in my library. Yeah. We're like, you didn't earn them all ticked off. You didn't earn it. Yeah. I'm not saying everyone's doing it. There's only a couple of people. But can you imagine us, like, spending 30 hours on Injustice? We played through the single player. Yeah. And there's one boss which we can't play. And it's, like, weeks and weeks we're talking about it on a play pass. And eventually we beat him. And we're like... This trophy is amazing. Like, we got the trophy. Speak to Steve. He's like, oh, yeah, I got that.
I got that on the second day. Yeah, I just paid the money.
It was $2.99.
Yep.
Oh. Yeah, so,
everything's for sale in the gaming world.
Everything's for sale. Eyeballs, arms, and platinums. But yeah, so we'll be booting that up and then getting some playtime on that.
Yeah.
On to the movies.
Yep. Off you go. The whole episode this week, I'm just...
Yeah, what's going down? What have I been watching? Well, movies and TV shows. I just finished off Sherlock season 4.
Oh, yeah, what'd you think about it?
I only watched the first episode, and then I left episode 2 and 3. I don't know why.
Right.
Bloomin' loved it, man, especially that last one. Did you see the last one?
Yeah, I've watched them all,
with the...
Yeah, so spoilers for Sherlock season 4.
With the sister.
With the sister, yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, that was...
I enjoyed Sherlock. I know it's a bit mental if you think about it too much.
It gets mental and mental. It gets... it really goes crazy.
I'm watching, I'm like, this is fine.
I think that's what put me off. The first episode, Watson's wife dies in it, and he's like super pissed off. And then I think it showed me a little teaser to episode 2, and I'm like, not really interested in watching that.
Right.
I was annoyed because of the teaser, but then when I watched the episode, I was like, oh, this is freaking great. Yeah. But when I say this, it's like 6 months apart. Like I waited 6 months to watch it, and then episode 3 was just like mayhem, really good. But I noticed. Did you notice that they were doing some kind of trick with? He was drawing on a whiteboard, so he was in a street and he was drawing on the whiteboard or like some chalkboard, but. He was in the room drawing on a chalkboard, and suddenly, like, the camera switches away and comes back to him, and he's in the middle of like Baker Street.
Right? Yeah.
You can tell like the production value's gone way up.
Yeah, you can
tell.
I was
like, damn, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
You know, they must have had to hang that there, you know, and take the wires away. But definitely awesome production value. I think the way it ended. Is there any more?
Well, the way they tried to set it up is because they don't know how long it'll be till the next time they get around. Yeah. Because you got Benedict.
They're so busy.
And you got Martin Freeman. So they're too busy to do it. Yeah. Like, not Martin Freeman because he has nothing to do because he's useless. But Benedict Cumberbatch is very busy.
What else is he in?
I think he was in one episode of The Office.
Yeah. I think like that was a pilot or something.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, he hasn't done much. But Benedict Cumberbatch is obviously Doctor Strange. So he's a very busy kind of guy.
Yeah.
So... they're kind of like reset. So the end of like that episode is kind of like the Sherlock Holmes everyone knows.
Sure.
He wears the hat.
He's got the hat. Yeah.
Watson is a single man again. Sure. He's out with the ladies.
Yeah.
But he does have a daughter, which is new.
Yeah.
And it's
modernizing.
Like, they run out of the Diogenes Club. And it's like, this is Sherlock Holmes like everyone knew. Back to Basil Rathbone's version and all that in the classic 40s and 50s versions. I liked it. I loved that show, though.
Yeah. I guess you watched it a while ago.
So. Yeah, I watched it back in January when it came out. Yeah. But now it's on Netflix.
Oh, it was the new stuff as well?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Season 4 just came out on Netflix, so anybody wants to watch it, go check it out.
That is funny you said that. That's actually on my list. Might as well go into it. It's like just Netflix. The fact they got that is awesome. They've just been getting good content all the time. And in Castlevania, as I walked into the podcast, you were watching it.
I was watching the
trailer.
It's
like the anime, isn't it? So
could have brought it up in the gaming section, but like
I was wondering where to put it
I think
in,
I played one of the games.
Yeah.
But the thing I like about it is the anime aspect.
Sure.
Because I think that's the way to go.
Is that the first time they've done an anime on Netflix, like original as well?
I think it might be the first original Netflix.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
remember watching like
great.
Vampire Hunter D back in the day. So like I love that kind of over the top vampire-ish anime style they have. Yeah. So when I first heard they were going to make it, I thought it was going to be live action. Like, that's going to be a piece of shit.
So did I, yeah. I was like,
is going to be
you're going to have to spend a lot to pull this off.
Yeah. But then as anime, I'm like, perfect.
Yeah, and that's why I brought up Netflix. It's like they're doing everything they need to. Yeah. They're just doing everything right, apart from apparently War Machine, which bombs.
I heard it's not great, not good.
I actually don't know
for
enough
the
about
cast.
It to say that.
Yeah. I might watch it this weekend. I'll watch that and Wonder Woman.
But the fact that like there's a Brad Pitt production on Netflix, and it's just come out. Oh, and there's Castlevania. Oh, and there's Stranger Things 2 coming out.
Yeah, and there's the Will Smith one coming out soon.
It's mental. Like they're congratulations to them. They're doing really well.
So. Oh yeah, they definitely put in all the effort and time. But I know that Amazon have just released
putting the pressure on.
Yeah, they have Amazon Studios, and Amazon Studios make the TV shows and movies, and obviously their movie Manchester by the Sea won the Oscar.
Right.
But now they've opened up the Amazon Shorts department. Okay. So they're going to do short films.
Oh, cool.
And then from that, they might like find the next big thing.
Here's a little tidbit for you going back to gaming. You definitely won't know this, but for anyone into gaming, Amazon have their own game engine. They develop their own game engine,
right?
And they rent it out to people. So if you want to develop using it, I don't know how much it would be a month.
Yeah.
But you can make your game on the Amazon game engine.
Oh,
and then
cool.
Suddenly, like, you might see a really cool game come out, say, whatever, like Wipeout. And then they'll be like, it's all built on Amazon game engine. Like, what? And then that's game engines are like rented monthly now.
Right.
But there's a few big ones out there. But yeah, I found it pretty crazy that Amazon had their own one. So they're definitely like looking at that industry because
they're
like
trying to break into everything.
Like Injustice 2 was $80.
Yeah.
So, I did trade in some games for it, but $80 for Injustice 2 that we're playing.
Oh yeah.
And we might play this for
like
a week
you said,
or so.
Like last year, gaming made more money than film.
Yeah. So
now,
you can see why
it does cost more to go watch, or it costs more to play a game than go watch a movie.
Yeah.
But it's still money. Like, no one with the big bank account is thinking, well, obviously the reason. They don't give a crap what the reason is. All they see is like, that's making more money than that. Let's do that.
Oh yeah. It definitely levels out, and they're keeping an eye on everything. So, but it's kind of cool.
My news for this week revolves around the Justice League movie.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you heard.
I did. I heard because I saw you in Twitter. I know.
Yeah.
I forgot to bring it up last week, but I was just curious to see what your thoughts were.
Yeah, it's just Zack Snyder's dropped out.
Yeah.
He had...
The reasoning was crazy. I didn't know about his daughter.
It was horrible.
I didn't know about
his daughter, she was 20 and she's committed suicide.
That's nuts, yeah.
And this happened in March, and he tried to get through it.
And he thought it was going to be all right, yeah.
Yeah, so he went through April, he's gone through this month, and he can't do it.
Yeah.
He stepped down.
He's a busy guy, so.
Well, when you're the director of that kind of thing, it's just a behemoth.
So.
Yeah. And like he thought his grieving would happen easier if he worked, and it didn't happen. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
Totally.
So hopefully him and his family can have some time and they can sort themselves out.
Yeah.
Like, that's just terrible. Like,
I know.
People say like we shit on DC movies, or Zack Snyder's a bad director. I don't give a fuck what kind of director is. Doesn't fucking matter in that situation.
No. And he's keeping us talking anyway, and he's bringing entertainment.
Yeah.
No matter what the film is, he's always bringing entertainment.
Yeah, he's always bringing us something to talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
So he stepped down, and he's going to hand the final stage of production and I think post-production of Justice League over to Joss Whedon.
Yeah, I heard that.
Which is a big thing. Like, in the worst case scenario, which this is, that's probably the best case you can get for a superhero team movie. It's the guy who's done $2 billion superhero team movies.
Don't want to shit on what Snyder's been doing, but he's already done a lot of the film. So
like, I don't think I don't think Josh can come in and change it.
That's what I'm saying.
I know they're
Isn't
shooting some pickup scenes.
Okay.
That Whedon's going to write.
Okay.
But those scenes were already kind of planned out.
Sure, yeah.
As in, like, oh, we need
He's just going to basically see it through, see the vision through.
Like, this film's coming out in November.
Yeah, it's pretty damn soon.
Like, we're in May. Like, this film's over.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
that's why I was saying.
Fix it.
There's no, and hopefully there is no fixing to be done.
Yeah, hopefully
apart from Cyborg.
Like, if the first rumors we've got of Wonder Woman are sorted, then great.
Yeah.
And I think Joss, he's not going, for two reasons. He can't go in there and just make his movie because like 90% of it's done.
Sure.
So if he just says, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, everyone's going to be like, oh, that's a Joss Whedon scene. That's a Joss Whedon scene.
Right.
That looks like a Buffy scene. That's Joss again.
He's going to see it through.
And the second thing is seeing it through because it's respectful to Zach. It's
and
like,
these guys are friends as well. Like they've all got to be friends
to work together.
Surely? Yeah. So
for DC, it's a great thing, I guess, because they probably just went to Joss and they said, look, like this is a few months ago before Batgirl, they just said, you can do anything you want. We're not going to tell you what to make, and we're not going to make you put any kind of like connections into the movie.
Yeah.
So he's not going to have like an Avengers 2 situation.
Yeah.
He'd just be like, no stress, make whatever you want, no pressure. And he said, I'll do Batgirl.
Right.
And they went, okay, great. And he's going to write and direct Batgirl. And like we've already talked, he was going to cast an unknown actress.
Yep.
All of that to me speaks to Warner Brothers just being like, just get him in the door.
Yeah.
And then once he's in the door, we can start to move him to doing the Justice League 2 movie or Superman 2 or,
Yeah.
So now that he's already going to be doing Justice League, I think that's a nice big get. Like the fact that he even decided to do it.
Yeah.
Because they could have got somebody else.
No, I was actually pretty surprised when they did that, but it's a nice little bridge between the two. As in, like, just for his thinking and how he'll just being able to edit in whatever Justice League, he'll get those kind of vibes, but he'll bring some of that across at least.
Oh yeah, he'll still
instead
have
of
some
being a
touch
completely different film.
Yeah.
So
and for the people who I don't know if they even exist, the people who hate DC and like love Marvel, the fact that now Joss Whedon is doing Justice League, kind of wins them over. Like, oh, Joss, I trust him. I'm going to follow him. I'll pay attention to what he's doing.
I don't think there's anyone. I mean, you're more passionate about it, I guess. But are there people that hate DC?
I don't
like
think
if we're
so.
at Comic-Con or at Fan Expo, like we're thinking about going to Fan Expo.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to be like, I fucking hate DC.
I've never understood any idea that would happen.
Yeah.
Like, there's comics.
There are people out there that are super passionate about.
But there might be people that are like, I don't like Superman. It's like, fine. But
do you think there'd be people there that would be like, fucking Guardians of the Galaxy, like, hate you?
Yeah,
like you just like you're all comedy. There's no story there.
I think there might be, but that's more reaction of like internet kind of.
Sure.
You can say whatever you want and no one's going to chase you down.
Yeah.
But in the real world, no one is that angry.
No.
Like no one can be walking around and be like, fucking Marvel bastards with their fucking comedy. It's like,
you had your
what is wrong with you, you weird freaky man? Go away. You're not right in the head. I'm not letting you near children. And that's the thing, like it's children, it's comic books.
No, I know, yeah.
Way too many people getting that angry are like 30-year-old men.
Well,
like us, just being
it's
like,
a new age. It's a new age though, because those guys growing up with the comic books are now older. It's like with gaming, you know. Like I think we discussed it on a podcast with my dad being like, "You're too old for gaming.
Yeah,
like, put the games away." It's like, nope, you can make a living off that now, Dad.
Yeah, you could be one of the richest people in the world now, Dad.
Exactly.
Sorry.
So put the console away.
Yeah.
So
again, for Zack Snyder and his whole loss, you know, thoughts go out to him. Hope
totally.
I can't say things get better. Just hope things get a little bit easier.
Things pick up.
I don't know who's listening to us, but if anybody's out there and they're feeling shitty, go talk to somebody. Yeah, you know, make a phone call. Use your smartphone, like we're always saying. Like, don't go through that. You know, like for yourself or for anybody else. You know, anybody, just deal with it.
Yeah,
it's a real thing. That's it.
Just keep tuning in because we'll be here. Yeah,
we'll be here. If you need it, just
entertain.
Send us a message if you want. rantandbollocks@gmail.com.
Please do.
The other movie news I had was everything that's coming up. Like the reaction to Baywatch has been terrible. Pirates of the Caribbean has been terrible, and neither of us were interested in that.
I wasn't. I still can't remember the name of the film.
Yeah.
Baywatch, the wife and I were quite liking, actually. We were like, are we going to see a comedy in the cinema? Like, we wouldn't ever usually do that.
Yeah.
But we were looking at each other thinking, yeah, I might pay some money for this. But at the back of my mind, I kept on thinking, is the trailer just all the funny bits?
Yeah.
And then, like, the way it's edited as well. It's like the film different. From what I'm hearing, it is a little bit like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't really kept up with it.
Yeah.
I do follow The Rock, as we both do on Instagram. Obviously, he's plugging it, saying, like, it's doing well. But I don't know.
Yeah, as long as it makes money, that's all they care about.
Yeah.
And it'll make money because it wasn't that expensive to make.
I think they've already confirmed number 2, haven't they?
Yeah, probably.
So, yeah.
The other thing with movies was just that next week is obviously Alien Covenant, and we'll talk about Wonder Woman.
Yep.
So hopefully they'll both be great for us or whatever.
I hope so.
The week after that, I realized, is when The Mummy comes out.
Oh, really? Yeah.
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 Because I just saw the other trailer for it.
I'm not super.
And I'm
into
like,
that,
are you in? I'm kind of on the fence now of like, I like Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
I like mummies. Where am I going to go on this? But I saw the trailer again and I was like, nothing in this appeals to me. Whereas everything in it should appeal to me.
Yeah.
You got like a crazy mummy attacking London, modern age. It looks like there's some good action in it. I think Joe Johnson's his name, the guy from New Girl. He's like the sidekick comic relief.
Yeah.
Then you got good old Russell Crowe hanging out doing his thing, and I'm like,
bad guy, isn't he? But yeah,
he's a bad guy, good guy, Mr. Jekyll. Yeah, and I'm like, this looks like everything I should like, but I'm watching the trailer, being like, nothing's selling me on this.
Yeah,
nothing. And we always bitch about trailers.
Yeah,
but this is like you're hiding too much. You're hiding too much.
I know what you mean. Nothing's like selling it to me. I've got a little problem with Tom Cruise. Yeah. I feel like, for me, I don't know why, because I do like the guy. I feel like he's going down the Nicolas Cage road. Right. Like he's and that road is like, I just see him in so many things. Yeah. And I just can't take him seriously. Right. Though last week I was talking about Edge of Tomorrow, and I bloody loved him.
And that's the thing, like it's in your head, but like the last Tom Cruise movie to come out was Mission Impossible 5.
Was it?
Yeah, really. Like he hasn't been in a movie since then.
Oh yeah, that was with Simon Pegg, and they were driving in the BMW,
and that was great.
Yeah. I do like Tom Cruise, but I don't know, in that film, maybe it just doesn't connect for me.
I think the problem I have with The Mummy, now that I'm going over it again, is that I don't know what kind of movie it's going to be. Right. Like, is it an action kind of, out there Mission Impossible thing? Yeah. Or is it a horror, dark kind of like everything's in trouble kind of thing? The only thing, or is it this fun Indiana Jones romp thing?
I see definitely Indiana Jones in there, yeah.
I'm watching it all in there, and I'm like,
where are they going?
Yeah. Because it could just end up like the original Mummy, which is fine.
Yeah. Is it though? Well,
it's fine. Yeah. Like,
did that have The Rock in it, or was that? No, that was
2.
That was. Was it number 2?
Was it 2?
Or was that something
or 3?
Else? Was that Scorpion King? That was a Scorpion King.
But he was in The Mummy.
Was he in The Mummy?
As the Scorpion King in one of the flashbacks. And from that, they had a spin-off called The Scorpion King. Yeah. I think he was 2. I think he was in 2 or 3.
Right.
Maybe. He's in Baywatch. I know that much.
I remember us talking about this Mummy trailer because I need to look it up. Everyone else needs to look this up as well. Yeah. But in the trailer, he's like on a plane. He's hanging out the window, but he makes some sound. He goes like, whoa!
Yeah, he's shouting
like
as
that.
he's
And then
falling,
someone edited this whole scene together with him just going like, whoa! Yeah. Like that, but it's fucking hilarious.
And I've seen that, and I'm like looking at the action scenes, I'm thinking, these look great. Yeah. I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it's the tone, the color tone of the film. Sure. It just looks dull to me or something. Right. It all looks grey and brown. I don't know. I couldn't get it. And then obviously a couple of weeks after that, there's like a couple other films we don't really want to see, like Transformers and shit like that.
Yeah. But we're going to go see them.
Yeah. Anyway. So The Mummy's the only one that's...
I'd rather see Transformers than Mummy.
Yeah, true. So. Well, maybe I'll go see Mummy and I'll give her a classic one-man review while the other one listens.
Here's something. When I was seeing Guardians of the Galaxy, I was seeing it with my brother. Yeah. And they played the Transformers trailer. The beginning of the Transformers trailer has got... what's your face? Odin.
Optimus.
Odin. It's got
what's
Odin.
His face? Odin.
Yeah, Odin doing the voice. Yeah. And then it goes. It's all like medieval. Yeah. And then it cuts to thing. We thought that was 2 different films. So my brother was just like, "Oh, what's this? Is this King Arthur?"
Yeah, yeah.
Like we actually thought
right.
it was King Arthur.
Yeah.
And we're like, "Oh, it's King Arthur," and then suddenly it just cut to Optimus or whatever.
Yeah.
And then my brother was just like, "What just happened?
Yeah.
Was the King Arthur trailer like 15 seconds long? You know?"
Yeah.
And I was
It's
like, "I don't know actually.
I think it was that bit with
I can't explain this." So I'm like, "Oh, it's the Odin bit."
It was Hannibal Lecter. Hannibal Lecter was telling everybody what's going on.
That one just, I mean, it's just tripe, to be honest. But
yeah,
I'd rather see
but
it
it's
than
the last Michael Bay directed one. That's actually in the trailer.
I thought he said he was going to do like 14 more.
He's producing them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see
how well this one does.
And if it makes enough money, just like, yeah, I'll do that again so I can get paid $20 million to watch robots roll around.
It's true. I had a couple of other films before you cut me off about 10 minutes ago.
Right, fine, dickhead.
That I was watching. I watched John Wick 2.
Did you watch it?
I did watch John Wick 2.
What are you thinking of John Wick's?
I much preferred number one.
Oh, interesting.
But spoilers here.
Yeah, because I already spoiled it in my review.
Yeah, number 3 is coming out.
Definitely.
Because like you said, you know, they lined it up. It was good, but I just felt like they weren't like trying to improve on it. They were just like, let's just do the same thing.
This works, yeah, I get what you mean, yeah.
And I like at the beginning the Russian mafia dude. He was like, he's killed my brother. He's killed. You thought it was going to go down the road of him like, I will never give up.
Yeah.
But it's just like, he's killed my brother. He's killed all my family. He's like, the stories you tell.
Yeah.
What did he say now?
The pencil.
Yeah, with the pencil, and he was just like, they've been most likely watered down.
Yeah.
You know? But then he comes into the room, like kills everyone.
Yeah.
It's just like peace. The guy's like,
he actually doesn't kill that many people.
Not in this one. No. Yeah.
No, in the Russian bit, remember, because he's mostly beating the shit out of them.
He is getting hit by cars.
His
car's getting beaten up.
That was a great fight though, and he's getting whacked around.
No, they
with cars.
are good. They are good. I think what makes number 1 so special is, for me, seeing Keanu Reeves just doing that role, you know, because he kind of wasn't doing anything for a while, and suddenly you saw him in this film. What's John Wick? What's he doing?
Yeah,
and suddenly you're like, oh my god, that's
he's back
awesome.
to action.
And then
Keanu.
seeing it in this one, you just see it again. It's just, and it answered everything I want. I'm like, I just want to see him shoot people in the head and take on some more people.
The bit with the shotgun in the caves.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, when that shotgun, do you watch it at home or did you watch it?
I watched it at home.
Oh man, in the cinema when he cocks that shotgun and fires it, it just.
What annoyed me was the fact that the shotgun was there and it was all just set up. Like I would have liked it if, like,
but he
if
planned
that.
He put the shotgun on the thing, and
I would have liked it if someone else had it, and then when was like.
How do you think he's John Wick? He plans these things. He goes to the store, he buys a pencil sharpener, and he makes sure that pencil's sharp so he can kill 2 guys with a pencil sharpener.
We need to get those suits though with the Kevlar.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
That was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I did really like that, and they were like
little cameo from Peter Serafinowicz.
Oh yeah,
as the sommelier.
That's right. Yeah, and then when he put it on, they said to him. Like, it's gonna look good. It's gonna be stylish.
Yeah,
it's gonna hurt like hell.
It's gonna hurt like hell.
It's like so thin. But yeah, kind of enjoyed that. The last one I watched was Mulan. I've never seen the Disney fan.
Mulan.
Disney fan Mulan. Yeah. And the reason why I bring it up is it was great actually. I really enjoyed it. My wife was so pleased that I was watching it.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh, we're putting on. Did you get the 1080p copy?" No, I got the 480. 1080p, but they're making live actions of all the Disney films, and apparently Mulan is going to be next year. So
really,
yeah,
I thought Aladdin was next year.
I heard Mulan, but I could be wrong.
Lion King, so, that's the next one.
I know that one's definitely on the cards.
Yeah,
but
they're just going to remake
I don't think
them
Disney
all.
know.
But Beauty and the Beast, we talked about it. I wasn't.
Yeah.
I think they missed the beat. They made it too realistic.
Right.
You know, it's just like it's a feckin' Disney film. Just go over the top and crazy. Have you seen it yet?
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
You saw it in the cinema. Yeah. We talked about it. Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
Oh yeah, it's good. That's the problem though, is that like all of them are going to be good.
Good, but are they going to be next level?
Yeah, here's the thing about the Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast cartoon changed the lives of so many little girls, and you know, everybody remembers the song, and it was magical, and it was like stuck in your head. And those are all the people who grew up and 20 years later went to see the movie.
Yeah.
But who's going to watch the new movie and walk away with that magical feeling? I don't think anybody.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people walking out, oh, that was good. But there's no little girls or, you know, little boys walking out and just being like, that was amazing.
Yeah,
that was crazy. That was like true love.
I couldn't agree more. I think what they're doing exactly is just grabbing the childhood, and grabbing all of that and saying like, well, we've got all these people that watched our movies growing up.
Yeah,
we just grab them again because they're all adults.
Yep.
Look at all the money we made then. We'll just literally make it all back.
Yeah,
and some more because of their children. But do you think that one of their films, like maybe it's Lion King, because that's a really, really big one.
That's a huge one, yeah.
Will go that extra distance, whereas the reason, this is what they need to do. I'm not really interested in Disney films, and I won't go see The Lion King, Jungle Book, or any of them, unless it's with my wife.
Yeah.
But if The Lion King goes that extra mile, and what they need to do is they need you and I to say, like, we're going to cover The Lion King on our next podcast, because it looks bloody awesome. Yeah. Instead of me saying like, "Hey, the wife wants to go see it next week." You know, like, that's what they need. That's what they need to do. The Lion King. So,
but there's a lot of musical numbers in The Lion King. Yeah. Like any Disney cartoon there is.
Sure.
And they are like the Be Our Guest scene in Beauty and the Beast. They're very big. Like there's all this like kind of surreal flowers flapping on each other and animals coming out and lots of elephants in like a row giving the big trumpet sounds as like Simba dances, and I just can't wait to be king. He's singing that, and I'm like, are they gonna go and do that with their realistic looking lions and stuff?
Yeah.
And if they don't, I'm gonna be like, go fuck yourselves.
I know, exactly,
because this is supposed to be Disney.
Yeah.
If I wanted to see dark and gritty, you know,
it's a double-edged sword, because they need to answer the fans, and they need to please the fans, and they need to go for that general audience, which they will do. Yeah. But to go above and beyond and maybe make that scene even more out, like crazy.
Like we said, my favorite scene in the Beauty and the Beast is the "Come and Be Our Guest" scene.
Yeah,
because it's so crazy, so big. Cool.
It was so powerful that it made like I said, the last scene. Yeah. I was really looking forward to the last scene,
and because it was just such a letdown.
It wasn't good.
And the same with the scene, the most famous scene where they're dancing.
Right.
And that was just so quick and done and over.
Honestly, didn't even remember that scene until you said it. Now,
so exactly. But I remember the cartoon version with the bright blues and the big yellow dress.
Well, I watched the cartoon like a couple of weeks before. For like the first time as well. So, but you're completely right. I honestly,
like, if the Lion King have you seen Jungle Book?
I have. I've seen both the real and
Jungle
the old
Book.
one.
Yeah, the real one they kind of cut down on the music in that too.
Yeah.
And if they go down that for the Lion King, it's just going to be this real bleak lions killing each other in the Serengeti kind of thing.
Here's one cool thing with Mulan. Mulan? Am I saying it right? Mulan?
I don't speak Chinese, but you're definitely saying it wrong.
Apparently, I don't even speak English. Mulan. But Mulan, the little dragon dude is Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy's,
I think it'll be great if
he did his Robin Williams.
Get him to do it again in the real thing. I think that would be great. Yeah. So just get him to do it again. So that's what I like.
Well, that was one of the controversies over Aladdin. Not controversies, but over Aladdin is like, who are you going to get in to do the genie?
Because it's Robin Williams.
If it's Robin Williams. Yeah. And Robin Williams made that. Like, so his own character. It was a lot of improvisation and all that. I've heard a rumor it might be Will Smith.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Just because he's got that charm, he's got that quick
I can see the
flow to
they
him.
need to get the right person, but I can see them pulling it off.
Yeah.
So, those are the ones I watched. What else did I have? I had 2 other things on my list. Actually, 3. No, I had 4.
You get 2. I'm cutting you off. You get 2.
Cutting me off. All right,
what you got?
I can wrap one into 2. Actually, is the 2 into 1. Sorry. The rides at Disney. So Guardians of the Galaxy opened apparently.
Oh, did it?
People lined up for 7 hours.
Jesus.
To go and see it.
For a ride.
It took over the Terror Drop at DisneyWorld. So there was like a ride. I went in it like 10 years ago. There's like a lift. And then you go all the way up to the top and you can see the whole of Universal Studios. And then it drops you.
Oh, wow.
So and it's taken over that. I don't know if that means it's a tall thing or whether they just knocked that down and it took the place.
Right.
But apparently, people lined up 7 hours. The other one, just to go with it, is Avatar. Avatar have their own
Avatar World thing.
Yeah, Avatar World. So they designed the line, because they knew it was going to be popular, to be 6 hours long. So the whole line is 6 hours long, like if it was to be on its peak day.
Yeah.
But the cool thing, and they always do this at theme parks, is as you're lining, the whole place is an experience.
Yeah.
So as you're like halfway through the line, you're going to have like the birds flying over and stuff. But
6 hours.
The fact that it's 6 hours.
6 hours.
That's half your day at the theme park. That's more than half your day at the theme park. Like, you've been to Canada's Wonderland with Steve.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine going up to like whatever the main one is there and saying like, 6 hours from here, boys. Sorry?
Yeah, like
And
you get there
I
and
don't
it's
even
like
think you're going
40
on-
minutes from here. You're like,
I don't think
40
you're even
minutes.
going on a roller coaster. I think you're like you're on like a boat or
Yeah.
whatever. You know, it's kind of one of those things. So anyway, I find that incredible that people are lining up for that shit.
Like if I know I'm getting to a place that has a
says 6
6 hour
hours.
wait, I'm bringing like a deck chair.
Yeah.
I'm bringing a portable grill. It's going to be like one of those cookouts. I'm just going to be like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure I have this is my day here.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is
yeah.
my day.
That is your day.
This is 6 hours.
Yeah.
I'm not standing here like blindly looking at the same 4 idiots
Yeah.
that are either side of me in the queue. I'm getting like a grill.
I mean,
I'm getting like a little hot plate. I'm getting a little fold out chair. And I'm like, fuck all y'all. I'm sitting right here. And in 6 hours, we're going to walk up this empty space.
Well,
to the
here we
gate.
go, man. Here we go. Theme park opens at 9. So
Yeah.
you go in there. You get there at 8:30.
Yep.
Because it's a theme
You're
park. You wanna
queuing to
go
get
there.
to the queue.
So you go at you leave your house at 7:30 to get there.
Yeah.
Maybe before if you live further away.
Yeah.
You line up.
If you live further
By the
away,
time you
if
get-
you live where we live, you just flew for 4 hours.
I know.
And then you have to drive and then spend overnight and all that.
You
Yeah.
get there at open.
Yep.
You're going to get in. The earliest you'll get in, if it's at peak rate, is at 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And then you'll do the ride for 6 minutes.
If you're lucky.
So
Yeah.
and then
Like the drop zone,
and the rest of the
it's
thing.
30 seconds.
Yeah,
That one.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh,
Anyway,
so
I find it kind of amazing that people are doing that. The last thing was Game of Thrones trailer dropped.
that is
So,
the thing.
which
Yeah, I was
looked
going to bring
awesome.
that up, yeah.
So I know there's been a couple of people asking what we're going to do about that.
Yep.
I think we're going to do a commentary over
Battle of the Bastards, yeah.
And then
We'll do a commentary about Battle
we'll
of
do that
Bastards.
before the other one starts,
Yes.
just to lead up to it.
Yeah, so we got like a couple of weeks and we'll get that done.
Super looking forward to it. The one thing that I want to
Yeah, because next month we got our Guardians commentary, that Battle of the Bastards commentary, and then we have to do another commentary.
yeah, we're just going to be talking for the whole month.
Yeah.
So
And then E3.
the one thing
Then
that
the games.
the one thing that I really like about what they're doing with Game of Thrones in this new season, which a lot of people are like, oh, is there's only going to be
7 episodes.
and it brings me back to Sherlock. Sherlock, there's only 3.
3 episodes.
But they're
Each of them are a movie.
They're a movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
because like the wife and I are like, oh, what do you want to watch? Do you want to watch this movie, this one? I'm like, let's watch a Sherlock. It's like it's the same,
Yeah.
pretty much the same length as one.
And that's why it's an event when Sherlock comes out.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I'm going to get an hour and a half of entertainment.
Yeah.
And it's going to be its own story.
There's no filler episodes, and I think having 7, they've just confirmed that we're not going to fill anything up.
No.
We're going to get straight to the point.
Yeah.
And I think even
Because they're all off book
the season after this is only 5.
It's the last
Something
season.
like that.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's going to be awesome. Super looking forward
think
to it, and yeah, we got some
Everyone
things planned,
dies.
so.
That's the way it should go.
We've
Except
got
for the
a,
dragons. The dragons should live and rule the kingdom.
We've got a little 3D printer at work, and one of the guys at work printed off
the hand. The hand. Yeah.
King's
The king's hand.
King's hand. Yeah, that's it. Printed off one
The
of those.
hand of the king.
Hands of the king, yeah. So he was just like walking around the office with that. Everyone's like, my lord.
Yeah. So we'll have to do a commentary on the Battle of the Bastards, and I guess maybe we'll do like a commentary on the very first episode, way back when with old Sean Bean.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Oh,
I just want to look at it and just see where it's gone.
something just came through my head when you said Battle of the Bastards there, because there's a really good scene. I don't want to talk about it too much, but you know the wildling ginger dude?
Yeah.
Him being in Fast and Furious.
Oh, that's right.
So,
yeah.
Good on him. I'm
Yeah.
glad he got into that. But yeah, he's a good character.
So yeah, that's all I was going to bring up was just that. Yeah, we're going to get our commentaries done for
Yeah.
that. The weird thing about the Game of Thrones for me though is that everyone's perfectly happy to wait. As far as like I've heard, like no one's complained that they've extended it.
I think it's because they've got all the fans' trust with like what happened in the last season. The last season, like there wasn't an episode for me that wasn't like, oh, this is filler. Like all of it was really great. There were seasons before that where I was just like, it's okay, slowing down. Oh, it's sped up, slowing down.
Yeah.
But last season, even maybe the season before, was just like solid all the way through.
Yeah.
Production, story, acting.
And you know it's because
everything.
it was all not original.
It was
without
after the
books.
After the books. Yeah.
So I think you can definitely see in the last season it became very Hollywoodized.
Sure.
It's like we have to have a scene where the good guy wins and the bad guy gets spoiler alert, Bolton Ramsey.
Right.
Or Ramsey Bolton, whatever, Bolton Ramsey, where he gets killed. Like let's hurt the bad guy that's a bad guy. Let's make the good guy. And before that, you're kind of like, that doesn't happen in Game of Thrones.
It's all going to shit.
It's like,
But
did you have a happy day?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to burn all your children in front of you. It's like, oh, fuck this.
There was actually a thing online 2 days ago.
It's a wedding. Stab.
Someone recreated all the deaths on Game of Thrones,
right,
but in flickbook style. So, like that. The only one they wouldn't do is the burning of the child. They were like, nope. And we're not doing this one.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, because that was a crazy scene.
Yeah.
But I do think because they've had those like crazy scenes like that anything can happen as well. Like they will throw in those scenes where it's just like, oh, it's John. He's doing great. Where did his head go?
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like, John is gone. And he's
great.
just gone in episode 3.
Yep.
And I thought he was going to be all the way here or whatever it is.
He had that big speech that made me believe in him.
And it probably won't be John because they've already tried to kill him off, but someone, you know. I'm just saying, like,
Robb Stark.
It could be anyone.
Robb Stark, you thought was going to be like, you know, he was the Wolf of the North and he was riding through and he's defeating all these armies and they're like, nah, he's dead.
I tell you what, I'm not looking forward to. I'm not looking forward to. So many people are in love with those dragons. Like,
they go mad for the dragons.
Yeah, but they're going to die. Like, big time. Maybe one of them might survive or whatever, but they're going to. But when they do, everyone's going to be like, what are you?
All right, so what's your prediction then for the Game of Thrones? Who's going to end up on the throne?
I haven't even thought that far through. The only thing in my mind, honestly, is what happens next. And one of my predictions is that they're going to attack Jon Snow. With the dragons.
Right.
It's going to be...
where's Jon Snow again, by the way?
He's
still the last time we saw him?
By the wall, isn't he? Didn't he go
wall?
down?
No, he left the wall to do the Battle of the Bastards.
Oh, Battle of the Bastards, yeah. So he's like halfway down or something like that.
Oh, he's at I was going to say Rivendell.
I don't know. I kind of feel like that...
Yeah, he was becoming the king in the north.
Yeah. But I think that she's going to come in with the dragons.
Yep.
I think there's
and
going
a
to be
big army of...
And then this is what I'd like to see. I have no idea if it will happen. But he's going to be there, a bit like Battle of the Bastards, like leading the group. Everyone believes in him. And then shit goes down because everyone's burning because of the dragons.
Yeah.
But maybe like the dragon breathes all over him.
Right.
And then he's just going to be there with his sword in the flames. Not affected because he's Targaryen.
Oh, yeah, he's Targaryen.
And then they're going to be like, holy shit. And then he's going to get on the back of one of the dragons. For a season at the end of this season.
Has Jon Snow been burnt before? That's a good question.
That's the thing. I can see in my head him with his sword in a battleground. Everyone's on fire around him, and he's looking at himself. I don't get excited
about a lot of Game of Thrones, but that sounds amazing.
But he's going to look at himself. He's either going to know, or he's just going to be like, yeah, "That's pretty good. Not that hot."
His sword's called Ice, isn't it?
I believe he's got that one, isn't he? Yeah.
Because he's the one who cuts down the walkers.
Yeah.
And it's only certain
he didn't lose that though.
Valerian steel.
Yeah, Valerian steel. That's right,
the only kind of steel that can cut them down.
Big dude, he brought it to him, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, he was given the sword by the previous.
Yeah.
Commander of the
Watch.
Yeah. The Watch commander.
So that's one of my predictions. Honestly, who's sitting on the throne?
Pile of fire, just standing there.
I think that would be awesome.
That would be amazing. Make that happen, Game of Thrones. That's already shot and ready to be.
Let's not forget that. Where is the true battle? The true battle's against the
guys
north,
in the north.
The north. You know, everyone thinks like, oh, it's going to be Cersei
for
doing
the
this and that. It's like, no, those two are going to settle their things.
See, that's the thing that gets me. I always thought. Like, I thought ahead enough. I'm like, oh, okay, so you have the Targaryen connection. You have Jon Snow. You have Tyrion Lannister. You got Daenerys. Yeah. And they're all, like, battling for the throne. Yeah. And they're all going to be like, ugh. And then what really happens is that the Ice King and all them come down. Or the Lord of the Dead. Whatever his bloody name is.
Yeah.
So Bran has to arrive with his magic tree people. And they all, like...
Bloody forgot about Bran.
Bran arrives with his magic.
Because he was boring for about an entire season. He was basically a tree.
Because they couldn't catch up to him in the books. Because he was too far ahead.
Yeah, he was a tree for a season.
Yeah, so Tree Boy, he's going to come down. He's going to get Tyrion, Daenerys, and bloody Jon and be like, we got to fix this bloody wall problem. Giant ice monster killing everybody.
Yeah.
They'll all go up, and while they're up there, some fucker's going to step in and take over the throne. That's what I think's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like Littlefinger or somebody will betray them all when they're up north.
I just thought something else.
So they'll have defeated the ice thing. That'll be like the end of season whatever this is, 7.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
So there'd be this huge battle. They defeat all the ice monsters, and everyone's like, "Yay!" And then it'll be another red wedding where he just kills them all.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then like the guy who's actually on the throne is like this one fucker from episode 2 that no one's remembered, who was just waiting this whole time till everyone had left the city.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm the king.
I just got another one here.
Yeah.
Maybe they attack Jon Snow with the dragons. Maybe he doesn't go on fire or whatever.
Right.
But they corner them and they'll be like, we're going to take over everyone. Like you do as we say. We've got these dragons.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, dragon just takes off. Goes off in a cliff. Bran's got the fucking dragon.
Oh, yeah.
In his head.
Yeah, yeah.
Bran's controlling a dragon.
Whatever that's called.
And then Jon Snow goes like, and then they turn around and go, who the hell's that? Like,
his warding or
goes,
warping or whatever.
That's my brother.
Yeah.
These are my dragons.
This is my dragon now, bitch.
I can see him maybe taking over a dragon.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Powerful.
Yeah.
So.
There's actually something that just brought into my head. We should save this for the commentary. Do you remember way back in season 1, the thing that led to the betrayal of Ned Stark? Spoilers for season 1 of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Ned Stark was looking around and he found out that there was another son.
Yeah.
So Joffrey wasn't the firstborn son.
That's right. That's where it all started. Yeah.
And there was this like little kid who worked in an ironsmith.
Right.
And it was like, oh, that's the kid who's the actual son of the king.
Right.
And we've never heard from him again as far as I know.
Mm.
Like he could be the one who steps in season 8 just being like, I'm the fucking king, bitches.
Yeah. They cut back to season 1.
Yeah, he's like that. He's like Ned Stark. Because Ned Stark sent them out of the city or something.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That bloody show. I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. It's just going to come right out of left field. Like the Mountain.
It's going to be good.
The Mountain had a kid.
Yeah.
And that's the bloody king now or something.
Regardless, it's going to be good. Like, I would watch Battle of the Bastards. Like that's a film. It's a film right there. And then the behind the scenes with the green screen for that was great as well. Like filming all of the people knocking off the horses and yeah, it was mental.
Yeah, so check that out when we do our commentary soon.
Totally.
Or don't do what you want. You're free to do what you want.
Yeah. Just make sure you check it out.
Yeah, I think we're all done with our movie news though.
Yeah, I think so, man. I think so. We'll get on to some good old Injustice. And
yeah, you want to check that video? Go ahead.
Yeah.
And if you don't, again, it's fine. We don't mind.
Yeah.
We're just happy you're here listening to this.
Do what you want. We're glad that you made it to the end.
Oh, so. I will throw in my weekly Omaze.
Good old Omaze, yeah.
Anybody who doesn't know, Omaze.com. They're running a competition where you can, $10 entry, you get to go and meet Robert Downey Jr. on the set of the Avengers movie. Spend the day with him, you and a friend. And then the money that is raised through the Omaze competition, that's going to go to whatever charity you want under the banner of Robert Downey Jr.'s charity. So him and his wife have a charity. Every year they sponsor like 5 or 6 different people. They go and visit these things. Robert Downey Jr. does photo shoots or whatever. So if you have a charity, he will take that on board under his company's charity.
What a legend.
Yeah, so you're going to be donating money to your own favorite charity and spending time with the biggest movie star in the world. Yeah. I think he is, right? He has to be by this point.
He's definitely up there.
Yeah, and there's one I forgot to mention. It's right near the end. I think that one's got 2 more weeks on it.
Right.
There's one that's maybe just a few days. So if the moment you hear this dropping tomorrow or today, make sure you go and check it out. Omaze, Doctor Who. You can go and have lunch with 7 of the actors who played Doctor Who in awesome. London.
Nice.
So that's for Doctor Who fans out there. I know
that would be insane. Yeah. I remember when I went to Fan Expo over here. Doctor Who was just it was way above everyone else. Yeah. Like, I was like, oh, Walking Dead's going to be huge. Doctor Who, no.
People go crazy for it. Yeah,
it really was. And I'm not actually being British. I'm not much of a Doctor Who fan because I grew up in another country. But yeah.
But that's got everything. Awesome. You've got like Peter Capaldi, I think David Tennant's there. So like you've got all your favorite doctors.
Yeah. Yeah. Who are you going to talk to, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Who are you going to talk to? Who's some bitch? Yeah, so apart from that, if you got any questions, send it to rantandbollocks@gmail.com or at rantandbollocks on the Twitters, or send a comment on YouTube. We always read them too.
Of course. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Take it easy, and we look forward to more talking next week.
Been a pleasure.
When we cram everything in because we didn't do any work this week.
Get it in here. All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
Boom.